Kama tunatumai mubuheri wa afya na mumejisatiti kititi mkaketi kitako kusikiliza mahojiano ya leo. Siku ya leo sio siku ya Obinna Show live, ama siku ya leo sio ya mahojiano ambayo yanatoka moja kwa moja kwenye runinga yetu ambayo ni Obinna Show live, lakini hii ni exclusive moja noma na ni ya maana sana kwako wewe Mkenya, manake unapaswa uyajue yale ambayo yanaenda kusemwa hapa. Ninakuomba tu jambo moja. Kabla tuendelee, bonyeza hicho kidude cha subscription na ubonyeze hapo kwenye kengele ili ujumbe kama huu ama mahojiano kama haya yakikuja ama yakiletwa usiyakose. Mimi unanijua kama Dapaman. Niko na mwenzangu ambaye ni
Mutumishi Asante Yesu, kama kawaida, the most handsome man in the west part of this country and the world. Na hata guest wetu atakonfirm hiyo. Karibuni sana mahali mnatazama kutoka Trans Nzoia, Diaspora, Western, Bungoma, Kimilili. Kimilili ndio huyo guest anatoka. Current MB. Ni wa nyumbani, huko ni home. So karibuni sana, mko na maswali wekeleeni hapo. Na tulisema kama uko na mwenzako karibu, unatutizama kwa nyumba, kinyosi, TV, gari, kwa simu yako, unafanya nini?
High five.
Hai kopole, alafu una smile kidogo, unamuuliza ndio hiyo sasa safari imeanza ndani ya Obinna Show live.
Na mswadakta wewe amekuwa mwenzangu ambaye ni mtumishi,
yes.
Mcheshi hodari nchini na nje ya nchi.
Hallelujah.
Naam, nachukua muda huu ama nachukua fursa hii kukuregeshea sifa zako wewe ama shukrani zako, manake ulikuwa na kazi mingi ya kufanya. Pengine ulikuwa unapikia familia, pengine ndio unatoka kazini, pengine ulikuwa kinyozi unanyoa uko kwa ofisini, lakini umeona tu notification ama onyesho ya ama la onyesho la ya notification ya Obinna Show live, ukasema ai, kwani rada leo, na ukakaa chini ukaanza kuwatch, ukachukua tu time yako yote ukaeka kando ukaanza kuwatch. Tunashukuru sana kina Zipi, Latifa, Kemunto, Anastasia Ngovo, anaitwa nani, Emily, Agatha, Faith, manze asanteni sana. Kina Boiling Point asanteni sana. Sasa wacha tuanze kusalimia watu wetu kabla tuanze mahojiano.
Yes.
Mtumishi wawili watatu kutoka nyumbani. Najua sasa leo Waluya. Leo Waluya si ndio kukohoa huku. Waluya oye.
Leo tuko na muscle.
Tuko na DD mass. Body mass. DD mass.
Na kama titi mazi wa Barasa.
Waluya barevanga si uje na pumusinywe.
Ndio hiyo sasa.
Vindu vichenjanga siwe na pumusinywe. Waluya oye.
Oye.
Waluya oye.
Oye.
Didmus oye. Haya mtumishi, twende.
Mimi ninasalimia kama kawaida ile once people scope akiwa pale nyumbani. Alafu pia nasalimia MC Facho, anasema ako locked, ako na
MC Facho.
Anajitanga hivyo. PRGO.
Varjo.
Hiyo ndio jina yake sasa ndio. Sini Facho.
Varjo. Ujamana refu jina yako.
R ni silent. So vitu zingine mimi sichukua nini silent. Anyway, MC Facho ako hapo, Smith anatazama. Alafu kikucha Kawangware tuko na kina Moskeli, Leonard na Timo, wanasema kwa kinyozi ako locked in kabisa. Notification imekonga. Nikienda sehemu za Kajiado Ngong.
Matasia. Landlady of course.
Wewe tunaenda na Chief Kimemia, Chief kuna Chief Shiro. Alafu pia wako na mboki yao hapo. Napenda kucheza hii tatu, langa tatu. Pia kurusha hivi. Alafu ting basi hiyo. Hata ule Datman alienda huko akawapea ile kitu. Ule mwenye alishinda. Alafu nikiingia pia hapo mboki ya Nduthi. Alafu Cisco the DJ na familia kama kawaida wako locked. Baba Boys na Mama Boys wako locked. James Mbai wako locked. Wanatizama. So karibuni sana. Tuko area kwako hapa.
Na mswadakta huyu amekuwa mwenzangu mtumishi ambaye ni mcheshi hodari nje ya nchi na ndani ya nchi yetu ya Kenya. Tunakuja hapa kwa any vibes, anasema niko ndani. Daniel anasema Mokaya comedy about Sifuna, asante sana. Albert Foreign anasema Tutam, asante sana. Zipi anasema Rena, thank you for watu, asante sana. Huyu anaitwa Dan James, asante sana. Betting family hapa hapa Kiambu, asante sana manze. Daniel Albert Foreign Isaac Cole anasema niko ndani. Robert Wekesa Didmus Barasa, napenda kazi yako, asante sana manze. Hatunasalimia mtu ambaye anaitwa Queen Latifa, shangazi mwenyewe, asante sana. Zipi anasema nimedonjo. Monica hapa Weya. Vivian V Waluya, tuko ndani, asante sana Waluya wenzetu kwa kusimama na Mluya mwenzetu, asante sana. Dennis Mili anasema nimengojea hii sana, asante sana. Willie Jackson anasema vipi Dapaman, niko locked in kutoka Parklands, asante sana manze. We can't take it for granted. Andrew Wekesa pia anasema singechelewa, niko kazini lakini nimesema lazima nifike. Dennis Otieno anasema muko vipi? Tuko salama. Nemik Sifuna, niko ndani, asante sana. Zetekia Okelo, salimia mtumishi, leta mkono. Huyu anaitwa Monica Wambui, na siku hizi Dapaman umenitupa, nimekusalimia Monica Wambui. Talsi nasema mtumishi sawa tu, mtumishi sawa tu, sijui anasema
nani huyo.
Samahanini. Evans Ochola anasema mtumishi umemtupa.
Evans Ochola, engineer mwenyewe pale Kiserian.
Sawa, engineer Evans Ochola umesalimika. Pia nachukua nafasi hii kusalimia watu wetu wa utawala makao makuu. Tunaanza na Caroline Jambi, asante sana. Tuko pia na Caroline kutoka pale hivyo Nachi, asante sana Karo, nyinyi wote nimewasalimia. Tuko pale na JJ Mutumbades, asante sana. Gonzales Veronica, Nancy, tuko na Purity, tuko na Esther, tuko na Eve, tuko na Vero, tunasema asanteni sana. Tuko pale hivyo na mtu anaitwa Mandela, asante sana. Peter Sami, asanteni sana kwa kazi nzuri mnafanya pale hivyo. Tuko na Lunyachi pia, usiseme hakunisalimia, nimekusalimia pia. Tuko pale hivyo na Shanti Bob, ukiwa pale hivyo na fanya kazi mzuri. Na pia tuko na Ambrose ni caretaker.
Iko sawa.
Anaonanga kipindi nasema mimi unisalimiangi.
Nimekusalimia. Ambrose, pokea salamu. Na
pia nasalimia mtumishi pia.
Ndio hizo zimefika.
Na pia nasalimia Omosh. Protocol 1 pia Omosh, Protocol 1 popote ulipo manze, pokea salamu kwa kasi msuru unafanya. Na pia Monez number 1 Sikiriko, pokea salamu.
Niliambiwa nikusalimia na
Patel ni nani? Nyar. Anaitwa Nyar Patel. Nyar Patel. Pia Korir pia manze, Korir pia unafanya kazi mzuri pale kwa kuzoom in, kuzoom out. Pokea salamu.
Tauti.
Onesmus manze pale. Huyo sasa anaitwa director Davideo Rensi manze, nahodha wa ile onyesho.
Alafu pale kwenye sound
anaitwa Nick
na Cynthia
na Cynthia Kemunto
Nyaroke Bosiboli.
Na pia usahau Magi
Ndumi
Mudwanyoba,
Mama Jandi,
Mama Chantel pale jikoni, salimia Kimeu
Senje ana makawa pale kwa reception.
Nakwambia Waluya wamekaa huko. Waluya wamekita huku. Monica Wambui anasema SN niseme nini? Isaac Salon vunulu Muhudia Abdirashib vunulu, yani huku ni vunulu. Sasa tusaidiane hivi. Nataka tu Happy Clara, Stacy Mutindi, asanteni sana, mumedonjo manze. Purity Wamboka, Purity Kanani, Lea Alvin, mtumishi mambo, salimia Dapaman.
Dapa chukua salamu.
Unajua Ulea nitakuja kukosana naye.
Kwa nini sasa tena mnakosana? Wewe ni mtu wa kukosana na watu kusema ukweli?
Anajua. Anajua. Lea, punguza salamu kwa mtumishi. Manake niko na kinyo. Ukisema tusalimia mtumishi na venye ako na mwanya mzuri hivyo, naona tu
ya Mungu. Kwa hivyo mnanitukananga kwa sababu niko na mwanya mzuri. Mnanitukananga mapango sote atinifanye nikuwe maina.
Lea,
ndio mambo ya Mungu.
Ama nimpigie umsalimie?
Chana tuongea baadaye.
Lea, nikisikia ukinituma kusalimia mtumishi takufumundula.
Hapa nikuulize aje. Wewe unaweza kuwa polygamist?
Mimi ni mtu mmoja one time tu.
Peke yake? Na ukiseeka
unajua? Lea Alvin one time tu.
No, ukiseeka unataka kufanya nini?
nikizeeka
kwa ndoa.
No, nikizeeka kwa ndoa nafaa tu nikae, yani nikuwe tu na mtu mmoja, alafu sasa tukaa tumezeeka wote, tutafute kajensi kamoja kenye kana
wewe na bibi yako muamue mtafute jensi.
Sasa ambaye ni anti mfanyikazi mwenye anatusaidia kufanya kazi ya nyumba.
So wanasemanga ukiwa na pesa kwa sababu pesa ndio inasaidia mtu kufanya hii mambo ya polygamy. Sasa wewe ukiwa na
pesa
si sasa pesa ndio ita manage. Hakuna mtu ataenda mahali ukiwa na pesa.
Hapana,
pesa ndio itakuweka, pesa ndio itakungarisha, pesa ndio itatafuta happiness, pesa ndio itafanya watu wakosane juu yako, pesa ndio itafanya yangu. Enda uoe
hapo kwa watu wakosane juu yako, unalenga mtu, si ndio?
Nani?
Usinijaribu, ndio nimeingia tu hapa sasa. Yaani mnanisengenya na niko hapa.
Unajua amekazana tu. Pesa ndio inafanya pesa, na alikuwa amesema ile siku.
Sasa pesa iko wapi?
Wewe umeona pesa
iko wapi?
Hata sisi tunataka.
Bosi, hii suti si ya pesa ama ni ya mkopo?
No, ni ya pesa, lakini unajua pesa ni tofauti. Pesa ni tofauti. Sasa hiyo pesa unasema haiko hapa. Lakini umejua hiyo pesa unasema.
Lakini pia pesa ni kama virusi vya ukimwi. Kila mtu ana. Mdoso uko nayo?
Kuna watu wako nayo, Didmus ako nayo.
Pesa nano
Didmus ako nayo.
Hawa Didi. Leo waduya wamejaa huku kwa show. Wanasema bunu.
Na ni venye sasa ingekuwa Monday. Ni venye unajua tumewa monjo katikati ya wiki. Ingekuwa Monday.
Na Magi hata kama Didmus ni mbunge jamani.
Hata Magi ako wapi?
Umetafuta hizi zote tangu akiwa primary.
Na ni guest mmoja.
Magi amepanga kazi. Magi ameresearch bwana.
Nimeona hiyo inaitangwa CV. Hivyo ndio atasomewa inaitangwa
Magi ameweka. Hii ni manifesto. Hii ni mingi kuliko manifesto ya nini? Ya baba. Unajua baba ilikuwa 10 point agenda. Hii ni 50 point agenda.
Na ni mbunge.
Sasa angekuwa governor. Na anaenda kuwa governor.
Akikuwa governor sasa nani anatuita sasa tunamu interview safi vizuri sasa.
Bosi alisema tukumbushe kitu ya Pepe Mama.
Tumekungoja leo
story inaweza kuoperate.
Sisi na wewe ndi.
So tumekuwa tukileta.
So now earlier moments when you are dating with my first baby mama. So nimeanza kuja tao, so nikaanza kumtoa Isili na mambo ya kuja tao tupatane ni mbaye Chipo. Nilikuwa nampeleka Altona ama Nevada. Unajua Altona?
Yes.
Ile place za Chipo kama Sanford hizo ziko hapo tao mingi. So naambia sawa pitie tao nini. So there's this one day nimwambia pitie tao akuje. So mimi nimekaa na mngoja afiki, nampigia mara amekuwa mteja. So mimi niko sasa huu shida yake sana ni nini sasa? Kumbe huyu mrembo ametoka home akapatana na mhubiri. Mhubiri akamwambia
gari za ushago ama hapa.
Mhubiri ni
amepatana na yeye wapi ipo si?
No, alikuwa anatoka Isili.
Yes.
So kuna gari za kutoka Isili kukuja Tao.
Yes.
So amepanda. Nasema sound imedu nini? Isili na mabia kuja Tao tupatane ni mbaye Chipo. Nilikuwa nampeleka. Kwa sawa. Mumonitor hiyo sound Sawa. Yeah. So anakuja Tao kutoka Isili. So hii time amechelewa, so mimi nashangaa shida ni nini? Kumbe mrembo amekutana na mtu wa Injili. Akamwambia habari madam. Nzuri. Nimejua kwa nini familia yenu iko na mashida. Nimejua ni nani mwenye anafanya hii maneno. So ile kile unajua pia alikuwa leo atakusikiza watakwambiwa ati nini okay. So amekaa hiyo time ilipata the dad alikuwa ameoa tu bibi wa pili. Okay. So bibi wa pili amekaa Jogoo Road, bibi wa kwanza anakaa Isili hapo karibu na Air Force hapo. So baada kusikia mhubiri akamwambia sasa unajua kuna siku nini, so hizo maswali kama ile pasta mwenye alikuwa anasema na ule mtu anasema anasema so anashangaa mtu amejua aje hizi vitu
story
Mzee akamwambia sasa nataka uende pale kwa booth. Bado hiyo time kulikuwa na zile telephone booths zimebaki but hazitumiki. So pale kwa kona utaenda hapo kwa hiyo telephone booth. Alafu sijui useme sijui nini hizo mawords za godly words. Holy Ghost fire ribasaka whatever. Sema mara 12, alafu mara 12 ukifungua macho hivi last time utaona picha yoyo mtu kwa macho yako. She believed it. Akaambia nao kwa sababu inafaa uende pale kama umetakasika sijui nini. First kuna mama mwingine akaambiwa wewe si nini, walikuwa na mama mwingine mzee. Akaambia wewe enda, huyo mama leta nini tukubebeo. Akaletwa akambebeo mama mzee, akaenda pale akafanya mama mzee akarudi. Gai, oi nimeona. Kumbe ni mtu amekuwa anapiga familia yangu.
Ameamini.
Huyo mama ameamini. Baby mama wangu anamwangalia zile. Kama huyu mshosho
anaamini,
ameona. Akasema pia mimi niende. Sasa akachukua simu akampatia pesa, akampatia nini kila kitu, akaenda kwa hiyo booth. Shikra baba, mara 12 fungua macho, hakuna kitu anaona. Kugeuka nyuma yake hakuna mtu anaona. So she never made it to town. Because mimi nimeenda, so ajui atanipata wapi. Mimi niko town nimejam, niko like sasa huyu mama ameenda wapi nini? So baadaye ananipigia story na wale
kwa chips.
No, hakuwa amejua anapeleka kwa chips. It was supposed to be a treat, man. It was supposed to be surprise. Nimetoka Mainda, nimefanya mashilingi zangu 2-3. Nimerejea nikamwambia tupatane tao. Luthuli, actually ilikuwa Luthuli because ulikuwa unashuka hapo, gari za nini zilikuwa nakuja hapo Luthuli. Unapata za kwenda Jogoo Road. I think ni 2-3 ama 3-3. Hapo so namchukua na mingi hapo Altona nini, alafu napanda tena gari na she never made it. So niko town naangalia wazee bwana.
Anakaa ule
alikaribishwa Nairobi.
Na hivyo ndio date ilisha.
Mimi nilijaa hata nikasema hata sitaki. So mimi nilikam kuja after 1 week. Mimi nilijaa mimi nikarudi Jogoo Road nikaendelea na life kidogo after 1 week akakuja kunitafuta. Naweza kuongelesha kidogo. Bwana. Wewe enda penye umetoka bwana. Rudi kwa Korir wewe.
Weishia.
Kumbe alipata Mulakusi. Wenye wanaonanga ndani wanasema okay, Mulakusa ni jina ya Kiduya. Muonaji.
Sasa mtu wa maono. Mimi naambia wewe rudi huko bana. Story gani unanipea?
Na unajua wanaonanga sawa mostly hao watu familia yao lazima upate kiwete.
Mchawi.
Mganga ajigangui.
Wanaona sana.
Hata fundi wa viatu sinatembeanga na viatu imeona.
Kwa hizo wanashona.
Hata vijana
siku hizo wamechanuka. Fundi.
Sound iko na scratches. What's happening guys? What's the issue so that story gani unanipea? Ndio hiyo. Mostly hao watu ni yangu. Lazima upate kiwete. Mchawi. Mganga achikangui. So ni ama ni cable? Ni ile frequency. Because sasa mmetulia tu alafu sasa watasema wacha tutumie hii sound yako. Sound iko na scratches. What's happening guys?
Frequency inafanya. Frequency inafanya.
Frequency. Wewe mwambie network.
Network. Lakini wanasemanga kama miti ziko mahali mingi ndio network inapotea. Miti kama ziko mahali mingi sawa bro.
So I think frequencies inapitana, they are trying to sort it. Wacha wa sort alafu tuone kunaendaje. Waone frequency inaendeleaje.
Ama yetu ina booster huko.
Sound iko hapana. So what we use so that hii microphone itume sensor pale because si cable direct. Ili tumbe sensor inaenda kwa network. Sasa ikipatana na network ya DCI na network ya simu na network ya wapi na ya Safaricom na ya nini na so hapo ndio sasa. So lazima utafute network ile yenye wako. Sasa lazima utafute ile network yenye wako ndani. Ni nini iko huko?
No, nimeweka hapa juu nikiweka hapa mtu akilia inasaria.
Dapa, you know in my next life I want to be you.
Hata sio kupanga kazi. Sijui ni nani amepiga tu.
Haki watafute chai bwana. Mimi njaa inaninyorosha vibaya. Unajua hata chakula lunch pa.
Mimi na sisidanganya.
Check 1 2.
Nimekula chapati check 1 2. Sangu 2, sa Davido 2 na Shelton.
Check 1 2 check 1 2 check 1 2.
Najua mimi nikiwanga na go under something. Asira inarudi kwa chakula.
Or you're going under something.
Kuna ndakutafuta tu kuna kitu inanisumbua kuanzia Wednesday inanisumbua. Lakini sasa nimesema mdosi, nimekuwa na unga karibu beli 5 kwa nyumba. Sai hata sina. So ni kukula. Asira yote nimeweka kwa chakula. But itaisa. Itaisa. Nina matumaini.
No, si utakula uto tumaini.
Tumaini siwezi siba. Atumaini.
Utakula uto tumaini.
Matumaini niko nayo. Matumaini, labda tuko na maini.
Sika ni kidogo tumaini.
Tu. Nimepata saa kitu unasema. Hapa network yangu ndio imemesa network zingine. Basi sasa nitaambia Masantele atengeneze ile chai yako.
Yake watengeneze chai. Salimia watu wetu hapo, wakaribisha, waambie tunatengeneza microphone kidogo, it's a frequency problem.
Haya watu wetu frequency, lakini nahoda waonyeso anashughulikia. Lakini si mimi mnanisikia mimi niko na frequency. Halafu maybe venye mjasiba sasa frequency muna. Haya. Anaitwa Konsi Cooking. Asante sana. Daniel Rehema, karibu sana. Yohana Mungodi, karibu. Becky, nani next? Ati be next. Sawa. Mdosi atapanga. Haya. Favor Kisunza. Sawa. Mdosi atapanga. Unajua mkituma hivyo yeye anaonanga. Alafu sasa kiona anapanga mambo yake. Si ndio? Nyinyi ndio sisi. Sean Munare inaundwa. Karibu sana. Felicitas Mutuku. Tibosi toa miwani kidogo, sauti irudi. Kwani miwani nayo inamesa network. Mutuku huyu. Dennis Otieno. I love your suit, Obinna. Bosi, kuna mtu amependa suti na ameipenda. Mwambia hili. Haya. Umesikia? Na bado. Haya. Justin Obongita. Wapi Didmus?
Leo Waluya ni wengi. Kuna mtu anaitwa Obongita. Obongita. Huyu hatujai muona kwa hiki kipindi. Obongita.
Ndio huyu. Justice Obongita.
Obongita.
Waluya leo huko shoni. Tumekuwa ni wepukulu.
Sikia majina za Waluya wako huku.
Chenonge.
Felicitas Mutuku.
Uni wetu wa
Lawrence Siumbu.
Siumbu ni Muluya. Siumbu ni kitu imeumbwa vizuri.
Kashoko ni wapi?
Kashoko ni huko nyumbani.
Samuel Kea.
Waluya tupu.
Freddy Shamala.
Shamaza ni kama Shamahoho.
Wakongola. From Luhokwe.
No.
Mtu wako Luhokwe.
Leo majina wa
Brian Andere.
Unanipata.
Kwani email inasoma hizi majina pia? Inakubali hizi majina?
Email.
Ya kufungua YouTube. Leo majina za vitabu ni kidogo.
Lutachi. Andere ndo huyo Nyongeza, ndo huyu Gideon Nyongeza, nasema Aloalo. Lorix Wechuri. Wechuri
Unajua ni asubuhi. Sasa huyo alisaliwa asubuhi. Sasa nyumbani huwa na name watu kulingana masaa yenye alisaliwa. Kama ni usiku, kwa mfano Joseph Usiku. Joseph Usiku alisaliwa usiku. Ana sitansi ya usiku. Huyu ni mtu alisaliwa usiku.
Unanipata?
Waluya wanaweza kuambia kama wanakune mingi kulingana na masaa yenye.
No, that part I get, but you have someone called Joyce Usiku.
Usiku.
Like that.
Anyore alisaliwa
Akinyore. Solutions imepatikana? Okay. Okay. Umetoa DJ Joe Mfalme.
Sasa kama unaona kama mtumishi pengine msasi wake alikuwa anatumika sana kanisani. Ni ukweli like sasa asubuhi ni echuri huyu kama echuri huyu alisaliwa asubuhi. Tuko na Adamu si mabuibui sasa ni masaa 11 saa 10 saa 11 saa 12.
Okay. Achesa engidas.
Achesa ni kufukusa. Sasa maybe alisaliwa mama yake akifukuswa ama kwa ndoto. Vitu kama hizo.
Felix Olaka.
Olaka ni kuahidi. Huyu sasa maybe wasasi ni wa kuahidi vitu.
Akiwalai guys, leo tuko na Waluya wengi. In fact, nataka uintroduce kipindi na Kiluya. But unajua Kiluya pia ni mingi. Juu pia unaweza introduce na Kiluya lakini Kiluya yako si Kiluya wanapata.
Lakini sasa unajua mostly ni wakina mtumishi.
Si we Waluya wenyu.
Wabusia ni wasomi kitu.
But gonga yende.
Mwebare muno mutyo kabisa. Mutyo muno obukulebeka bino. Okuichobo na sipindi si Obinna sino ni sipindi.
Wacha mambo yako hiyo.
Naambia ni kipindi namba moja.
Sino ni nini? Unafikiria sijui ati Obinna sino.
Sipindi sino hii kipindi.
Dapa. Sipindi sino. Mbona hiyo sino ina sound kama kitu ya nini?
Kitu mbaya.
Ati unaangalia iko kikipindi hikio.
Sino ni hii kipindi.
Ni madharau?
Hapana. Mtumishi nimesema vibaya.
Iko sawa? Sipindi sino.
Sipindi sino.
Suseme tu Obinna Show live. What is this sipindi sino tena?
Mwebare muno obukulebeka byengwe ebiherwa obarira Obinna Show.
Ngoja ebihengwe.
Ebiherwa ni kipendwa.
No, ebihengwe. Umesema ebihengwe.
Ebiherwa.
Hujasema ebihengwe.
Ebihengwe ni kitu mbaya. Unajua umesema.
Wachana nayo. Guys, scratch muta delete your part. Mutengeneze microphone vizuri ndio bosi akiingia hapa isikue iko na scratch. Haya.
Mutyo muno bukulebeka byengwe obarire sipindi siherwa esia Obinna Show live.
Very nice.
Na saya abarinde yani Mungu awalinde. Na ababerese mbabasi, ababerese mikisa, ababerese habi. Mutumisi?
Yes.
Kiluya ni yetu leo.
Bana befwe hukwama Trans Nzoia, Bungoma, Kakamega, Vihiga nende Busia hulikamu karipisha musipindi Obinna Show live hukwama Nairobi headquarters. Na kulinende omukeni hukwama Kimilili Honorable TT.
So now I'm going to introduce with English.
Yes.
And then you say with your Kiluya. Then uo nasema na hiyo Kiluya yako. So every word I say so muna. Ndio sasa tusiwache hawa. Nimeona leo Waluya ni wengi hapa tusiwache nyuma. Didmus amekuja nao.
Kwa nini?
Asi walk out. No, akitembea aende wanamfuata.
Uta lock out ndio atoke.
Usuri si tuko hapa bado.
Hawa ni Didmus hao, hawa ni Didmus. Hizi majina nimeona hapa. Mtu ndio hizichuli.
Wepo godo.
Ona mimi sijui Wakongora, ona huyu Wakongora anasema bas.
Mulembe
Nation, Flavor Kisuza, Kevin Kipukemoi, kava imenini. Johnny Kiliswa. Boniface.
Unaona sasa Waluya wa kwenu wanasema wewe ndio Mluya kamili. Sasa unaona wakwetu pia watasema
tunakuanga headquarter ya Waluya.
Wabukusu ndio wenye wananiningi wale wa supu.
Supu nini?
Okumunyukura hii.
Komando.
Kunde okumunyukura hii.
Guys, alafu ni Didmus.
Didmus.
Huyo ayuko hapa leo.
Sisi tuko na
Didmus
Barasa. Didmus.
Sema D.
Lakini Wabukusu wote ni unajua Mbukusu.
A T with a stomach.
Mbukusu alianguka mtihani seti ajui. Mbukusu ukimwambia andike did you know? Unajua alianguka mtihani kwa sababu pronunciation ndiye anaandika. Sasa kwa mfano did you know? Sasa ataandika did you know?
Mimi siko kwa hiyo beef ya Wabukusu na ya Waluya Weni.
Wa Busia.
Okay.
Si nimekwambia Busia tulisoma. Busia.
Welcome ladies and gentlemen.
Karibu sana bakasi na basacha.
Akumukaribisha basecha nende bamai. Sunaona hiyo ndio original.
This is Obinna Show live.
Esipindi sino ni Obinna Show live.
Ino no Obinna Show live.
We sit down with the who, we discuss with them the what and the why.
We hala sese daho, huloma nde mundu imudaha, husi nende hulu asi.
Nona ya meta sitako iko hapo.
Sikukaa chini.
Kwe harasi nende babandu tofauti na hulosia.
We normally do it every Monday.
Hukolanga buri Jumatatu.
Kubechanga every Monday.
But this is a special edition.
Lakini no ni special edition mufumo kundi.
Esino ni special edition.
Tumekungoja.
Watu wetu wanapata.
We are sitting down with the gentleman that we have been looking for a very long time.
Kwehale asi ndo musacha yekubariranga vurilosi.
Hakuiharasi nende omusecha. Muchendolo. Wamelanga umesema China?
We've been looking for him for a very long time.
Kumukonya.
We are sitting down with the gentleman we've been looking for a very long time.
Hakuiharasi nende omusecha. Hakumu kiele nikata. Ancestors wameanza kasi.
He is influential and controversial in equal measures.
Ali very influential and controversial. Hiyo yesi toka na Kipukuzu, inatoka tu hivyo.
Lakini influential. No mulandasi ana kandi sieleweka.
Controversial?
Sieleweka.
Influential?
Mulandasi. Influencing like kutangaza.
Hapana. Ni mtu ambaye anapendwa na wengi, yani ni mtu ambaye
no mundu ibandu bakera saidi anapendwa. Bandu bamusima.
Lakini pia ako na controversy, yani
mchanganyiko.
Abechanga nende
chimbeka chingali.
Kidogo tumesema chimbeteti. Yeah, and of course this show is coming live to you from Obinna TV studios.
Nakandi ngamumanyire embonero ino ichaso tula live o tulo Obinna Show live.
Esipindi hicha mu Obinna Show live headquarters, live and direct.
Headquarters wamesema huku.
Lazima ipitie hiyo ndio ikamilike.
Sema venye wamesema bro.
Esipindi hicha mu Obinna Show live.
I didn't say Obinna Show live, I said from Obinna TV studios.
Huku ama Obinna TV studios.
Wait. Hawa ndio voters wa Didmus.
Kanawecha ndio.
Sisi ni wale ndio tunatokanga na.
Hai, mimi na Didmus kama hawa ndio watu wangu wanakupigia kura, naona kidogo hiyo governor hapo.
Lakini anaweza
tunaelewanga
tuko tu na yeye. Huyo tumuache.
Luka yake tunapata nani?
Nani mwingine anataka kuwa governor wa Bungoma?
Timu Wanyonyi yule mtu wa Westlands.
Oh, brother nani? Weta.
Yes. So ni hao, na kuna ule alikuwa Wangamati mwenye wa Lusaka Lusaka alitoa na yeye akatoa Lusaka.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Anataka kurudi.
Yeye ndiye alitoa Lusaka Wangamati. Lusaka akamtoa.
Akarudi tena.
Sasa Lusaka amemaliza 10.
Oh.
Alienda 5 akaruka ka Trump akarudi.
So pia ashafanya 10 basically.
Basically ashafanya.
Na Lusaka pia amefanya 10.
No, ule amefanya 5. Lusaka amefanya sasa hii ni ya 10.
Na nani amefanya maendeleo?
Wote wamefanya tu 10.
Maendeleo.
Hiyo ajui, but tunajua tunafanya 10. Okay. So now team Wanyonyi
ndiye anataka kuanza fresh. TT fresh. Didmus has been 10 years. This is the second term MP. In Kimilili. Yes, team has been here for 15 years in Westlands. Sana naenda kujaribu West.
Asubuhi na mapema.
Sasa huko kuna conglomeration. watu kutoka Sihendu huko wameshika MP wote basically wa Bungoma County wako nyuma ya team. All the MPs in Bungoma.
Ngoja niandike hiyo. Mbona mko niambia hiyo mapema?
Exclusive.
All
MPs are against
are behind team.
Yes.
Okay.
So na Didmus ako na wafuasi wote. Wale wanatokana.
So my MP wako na team, wafuasi wako na TT.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Correct.
So kwani MP wameendoko na
pesa?
Si unajua wana support Weta.
Now I get. Get. Ukishasema hivyo nimeunderstand. Unajua speaker
and also hawataki Didmus.
Kwa nini unataka Didmus?
They don't, ni vile tu watu kuna wale wanakupenda kwa
Pati receipts.
Hiyo tena si shout.
Ni mkora. Lakini sio sisi tumesema.
Ni watu.
Aya, endo ulete mandidi. Davido pandisha.
Coffee.
Elimu aleria.
Wena.
Obinna, you need to be here.
I am.
Sorry, I can't speak something.
Check it, guys.
This is Obinna Show Live. Coming to you live from Obinna TV Studios.
All right, welcome back. We already did the intro, so we're just gonna get into it for the first time on Obinna Show Live. Bungoma Governor Didmus Barasa is in the house. Karibu.
Musangari.
Niaje
bosi? How are you?
I'm good.
Very good.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Kidogo tu sana kutengenezea alafu ndio.
Wacha aweke hiyo hapo. There you go.
Umesema iko wapi?
Kofia. Tulia.
Si upeane kofia wewe.
Surprise ya mdosi.
Sutoe, mbona unanyimana kofia? Watu wako waje?
Mwana.
Yes sir.
Ndinende kofia hiyo. Unakumbuka ile uliwacha kipira? Wakati wa Simbarati.
Wewe usiseme ni mimi nilimekuwa naye.
Hii kofia mtozi ameitafuta sana. Na mwe?
Kabisa.
Kumbe ni anko yangu. Tunajua tuko na leadership, ni mimi tunakuwa na uchinga kwa poma yetu.
Ndio walikutumia kutengeneza.
Sasa mbwa iko kwake.
Sasa
umejua huyu
anko?
Kabisa. Mimi ni mjomba wake.
Kabisa, mama yangu na hisi ya kutafuta.
Anatoka Lutonyi. Correct.
Na tena tukitoka hapa tunakufuata tu.
Vile unafanyanga. Hakuchana mwe?
Hatubaki.
Sasa huyu ni anko madhe kumbe.
Kwa serious mtumishi.
No, on a serious note.
Mdozi wako. Uwezi mpanga dapa.
Ndio bosi hapa.
Waluya na uko wacha. Ati mna uko netaje?
Mama yangu.
Suacha aseme.
Okay.
Na nyanya yake.
Sawa.
Mama yake kutoka Lutonyi is my cousin. So huyu mimi ni mjomba yake. Vile tuko hapa hivi I have all the casting rights.
Yes. Sasa unaona
ukiongea na mjomba
staple.
Ukiongea na mjomba unakuwa very straight.
Ukabola.
Lakini hata ukiangalia wanafanana.
He is
governor.
Mimi ndio nitakuwa chief officer wa youth. Bungoma County.
Hako na sida.
Mtumishi, what happened?
No,
I'm just looking at your uncle and I'm like, what happened?
Mungu anapeana vipaji tofauti.
So wewe kipaji yako ni gani?
Si ndio hii hapa, kwani uliniandika kazi nifanye nini hapa?
Sio sara. Kusaidia jamii. Sisi tunasaidianga tu.
Au uliweocha?
But when you light skin, Didi ameshika rangi.
Umesikia kazi?
Light skin.
Huo ni almost enough. Hata vitole. Unaona vitole zinatoa.
Hii ni light skin hii.
Governor. Hii ni light skin. Wapukusu hii yetu ni light skin.
Kwa book. Okay.
Si kama ya hawa.
Ngara tu.
No, si uliona ya Wanjala.
Ngara
tu. Wanjala. Mpunge.
Ng'ara tu Otuoma atakuja.
Sasa Omwan, kocha hii sasa nifanye aje? Unajua nimefaa tu na ifai.
Nimekubariki nayo.
Amen.
Yeah.
Sasa
from today inakuwa yako kabisa.
Kofia hii kwacha tuseme tu kweli. Kofia hii sio yake.
Si anajua aliwacha kipira.
Nini nifanyika Kibera juu?
No, alikuwa ameenda kucount kura si ita.
Kidogo kuchunga.
Simba Arati akiwa yake.
Horrible
Okoth, yes. Sasa he was in the Jubilee government. Kama wanaitanga gavana
sisi tulikuwa watu ya tanga wakati.
Sasa alienda kutanga kwa Soni. Ango ni ruhusu tu niseme ulikuwa Soni ya wenyewe. Na sasa Simba Arati.
Lakini niliingia kwa bedroom.
Huyu ni Simba.
Aliingia kwa bedroom. Sasa unaona hiyo ndio shida. Akakuta Simba
amewaka. Hiyo ilianguka walipata pale kwa dirisha ya bedroom ya baba.
Mimi sasa
inside the bedroom.
Singesaidia kocha, sasa ilipiti tu nimngoje kwa tuko ya Yazenga.
Lakini nzuri iko safe.
Yes, unaona hata
imebaki kwa clan.
Kwa
clan.
Niko kwa jamii.
Tungeacha. Sasa ndio tunasaidiana na huyu ndugu yangu hapa. Mtozi amekuwa mzuri sana. Ananga maneno.
Kabisa.
Alafu mimi watu wananisumbua sana. Wanasema tunafanana. Sasa si
na nani? Wewe tafuta wewe.
Enda uoge.
Nywele hairstyle.
Wewe hujachana nywele?
Aya ngoja.
Wewe na Salasi hapo umesema mko hapa? Hapo kwa nywele.
Wacha tuone hata tunaweza chukua selfie.
Kwa in short ulikuwa unatafuta selfie.
Hapana, tunafanana tena, simu imejaa. Lakini
wakati
tunafanana tu lakini ama koreri tunafanana. Watu wanasema
fanya hivi bana, fanya hivi.
Hiyo ni trip. Ni trick, anakutrick useme tu tam. Anakutrick.
Ni jackpot bana.
Anakutrick.
Ngapi?
Mambo bana, fanya hivi.
Anakutrick. Unaanguka, wanakwambia pause hivi, unaekanga hivi mkono nasema unaona.
Kesho kwa
kasi. Hata status nasema nimeweka huyu, weka yangu.
Lakini sijafanya hivi mdosi. Nimefanya hivi.
No, unaweza fanya ukitaka, mimi hapo siko. You know kura yako haki yako.
Mimi
na siri yako.
Mimi wa
DF.
Sisi tunafuatana tu.
Hii tunaweka yake.
Sasa mdosi
yake.
Na msaidia.
But yeye sasa hivi anaanza one time yake, yake si two time.
Si anamaliza.
Hajai kwa governor tena.
Governor pole pole. Bana lete sasa.
Pia tu.
Ndibu sahia.
Kabisa.
Sema kitu unataka.
Nimemwambia tu ndibu sahia. Niko na mtosi hapa.
Ana ndibu sahia ni kusema?
Niko tu area.
Nimewaona nyinyi. Mugiaga echara tawaita. Haya, mumeanza kuhustle na wageni. Si
au ni kocha. Hii ni family.
Sisi tunataka tukuache sana mgeni. Tupige na story lakini tuko tu hapa.
In case kuna technical question, chomba na shita tutamuuliza tu. Karibu.
Kocha kajaraita.
Ndiye sana.
Haya, sasa mimi kama utataka kinywaji niko tu hapa. Utafanya tu hivi. Utaniona.
Very good.
Karibu sana kwenye onyesho hili. Wakenya wamesubiri.
Dapa. Bye.
Si ile kasi yangu.
Bye.
Nikusaidie nini wewe?
Niko sawa. Bye.
Mdosi.
Bye Dapa.
Haya.
Wambia atengeneze ile chai bwana.
Si ndio nilikuwa nataka nikuulize.
Si umejua niko mbaya.
Na mugate.
Ndio meza ya kuwekelea hizo ndani.
Hapana. Wacha nikuletee meza.
Leta meza. Welcome to Obinna Show live. It's been a long time coming and finally umefika. Karibu sana. Hapa ndio penye saa sisi nao vijana tunajaribu kujipiga hivi. Tuone kama pia sisi tutanunua chopa. Habari ya Bungoma?
Bungoma si mbaya.
Habari ya Kimilili?
Kimilili is very good.
Iko sawa.
Very
nice. Yes. Umekuja leo?
I've been around from yesterday.
Yes. So you are based here ama you're based there?
Both here in the village.
How many times do you go there in a week?
I come here maybe on Wednesday. I go back on Friday.
Oh, every week?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
What the people of Kimilili brought me in Nairobi here is to represent them in the National Assembly.
Okay.
The National Assembly sits in...
It sits here every Wednesday by this, afternoon. Mulijiwekea time poa. Mtaki kuamka asubuhi.
No. There are times we do in the morning.
Okay.
Others we do in the afternoon.
But mostly in the afternoon.
Yeah, mostly in the afternoon.
No.
But in the afternoon, because at times even we go up to midnight, depending on the matter which we are handling.
Okay.
If we are handling a matter that has a constitutional timeline,
Okay.
that once we begin debating, we
You have
must
to
put the
finish.
vote and end it. So we go up to midnight.
Okay. Okay. What are Kimilili? What are they thinking about you? What are they saying about you? Do they like you?
Yes, absolutely. Because since I was elected in 2017,
Yeah.
I have never been unpopular even for 2 hours. I've maintained my popularity up to date.
Oh,
It
okay.
is, you know,
So inaweza kwa 1 hour hivi alafu inarudi tena.
of course, you know, you can do something that makes your people not happy with you.
Okay.
Then you become unpopular. But I am thankful to God and the people of Kimilili that since they put me to where I am today,
Okay.
I have never been unpopular. I have never struggled with popularity in my constituency.
Why do you think that is?
It's because I have lived up to the expectation. Yes.
Your manifesto will deliver.
I finished my manifesto 1 year ago.
What was on in your manifesto?
My manifesto was to remove grass-thatched houses, which I did in my first 5 years.
Grass-thatched houses.
Yes.
How are you doing that? Is that your responsibility?
It doesn't matter. You know, I have 2 responsibilities. One, the responsibility is within our constitution.
Okay.
But the other one that I had with the people of Kimilili, which is not written.
Oh, okay.
Some of the things that I've done that are part of my social responsibility as their leader.
So you've removed all grass-thatched houses. So if I go to Kimilili, sipata nyumba ya nyasi.
When you see a grass-thatched houses, definitely that could be maybe Kapchai or maybe somewhere else.
So if I go to Kimilili now,
Yes.
na nipate nyumba ya nyasi,
Yes.
grass-thatched house,
Yes.
tufanye aje?
Call me, I'll give you 200,000 shillings.
200,000.
Yes.
So nichukue time yangu nitoke niende
Go
Kimilili
and
for
walk
200,000.
around. Go and walk around.
For 200,000.
Absolutely.
Mweshi, wewe unanibeba aje?
Enda utembee huko.
Nitoke hapa mpaka Kimilili kutafuta nyumba ya nyasi ndio nipatie
Absolutely.
200,000.
Absolutely.
Hiyo sinapata kama nimekaa hapa.
Do you know that
Weka iko 1 million.
do you know that there are a group of people who go to Kenya Women Finance Trust to apply for a loan of 20,000 shillings, and they are taken through a lot of bureaucracies.
Okay.
Many of them are told they do not qualify. So 200,000 shillings is a lot of money.
I didn't say it is not a lot of money, but I just said surely. Sasa tutoke hapa juu ya 200,000 niende mpaka Kimilili
But
surely.
of course,
Kufanya groundwork.
of course,
Nitumie chopa.
yeah.
Kachopa kanichukue.
So basically,
Yeah.
I have done in the next 3 months.
Okay.
I will enter the Guinness Books of Records that Kimilili Constituency is the only constituency in the whole world where a member of parliament who was elected for 2 terms
Okay.
has built all the primary schools will be all new. None of them
For
has
real?
old buildings
Oh.
that were built before I became member of parliament. In the next 3 months, I'm at 92% with a budget of 1 year to go. And in that budget, I only require half of it. I have 73 primary schools. All of them, either they have a story building, all the old buildings, we have replaced them
Nice.
with the tiled classrooms and cabro, so that when you enter there, you feel like you are in a center of excellence. Even if you are the caliber of a person that understands things by a lagging factor, that when the teacher teaches today, you will understand after 1 week. You will begin to understand from first principles that the teacher doesn't need to do a revision for you to understand what he or she meant. You will grasp the things from first principles because the environment is completely conducive. And you know, there are no pupils who are stupid, but it's the mindset that become stupid and they can be temporary. So even if you come to my institutions with that mentality that from where we come from, we don't go beyond class 8 or don't go beyond grade 9. You begin to change that mentality and begin to be hopeful that you will live to see a better tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
So 2 things. Those are the ones you've done. Thatched houses and schools upgrade.
Yes, and I've also brought the government services under one roof by putting up the second largest Huduma center in the whole country. By the number of offices that are domiciled there and the number of government services that are being offered in my Huduma center. When I was young, we used to go to Kisumu for driving license. Now the people of Kimilili, Tongaren, Mount Elgon, and then in the whole of Bungoma, they don't have to travel to Kakamega or Kisumu for a driving license. They just come to Kimilili to get their driving license.
Okay. What of economic empowerment? Have you done anything around that?
Economic empowerment, you look at it in 2 phases.
Okay.
Phase number 1 is where we give money to our young people to do business. We give government money to various women and the youth groups for them to do business. We have always done that every year through our WESO fund. And there is also the money which we come together and do some charity donations. Okay. We do empowerment programs. I've seen some individuals, our friends in the opposition, saying that these empowerment programs are not development. They are saying so because of the impact that these empowerment programs are having on the lives of the Kenyan people. And you know, when you are a competitor, you want to paint a good thing look bad. And you know, they are very mean. Some of them are more richer than what we do, but they are just mean. So for them now to safeguard their ability, their meanness, is to say this empowerment is not changing anything. You can imagine if you do an empowerment program and you are giving every group 50,000 people, 50,000 shillings, 30, 20, for them to increase the stock of their business. This is very good money. Such money in normal times can only be gotten through a loan. The Ifuliza, 500 shillings. The Ifuliza, 5,000 shillings. They get Hustler Fund, 2,000, 3,000. They go to the banks, the various banking institutions that support SMEs. For you to qualify for a loan of 30,000, they will require collaterals, which when they do not have. So this money is just free money to the people. It goes a long way.
Okay.
If you want to know that this money is very helpful, look at the number of people who come to witness when we are doing this fundraising.
Okay.
The number tells it all. You may be rich. If you are rich, you think that 50,000 is very small money. Somebody is planning to apply for a bank loan of 10,000 shillings to do business.
Okay.
So when you give this group 50,000 shillings, that money will go a long way. You know, 45% of Kenyans afford food on the table of their families by engaging in small trading activities. If you travel from here to Homa Bay, you will pass so many women on the road selling bananas, selling sugarcane, hawking njugu karanga. That is how they feed their family, you know? Okay. According to my definition of a rich person, is not an individual with too much money. A rich person is a person who can afford the basic human needs and spare some money for some leisure or luxury. It could be just going to a nearby hotel and have tea and mandazi.
Okay.
Because we feel like we just want to stroll around. That is a rich person.
So are you a rich person?
Yes, I am.
I'm a wealthy.
No,
Where
I am
do
a
you
rich
categorize
person.
yourself?
I am a rich person like very many other people because I can afford to feed my family and spare some money to give back to the community. That's what I've said.
They say you have a lot of money.
Not really a lot of money. It's just that I'm generous. When you are generous, people think you have too much money, which may not be correct.
Wanasema uko na chopa 5.
I do business of an aviation industry. When you hear the vehicles like Eldoret Express or a Great Rift Shuttle, that doesn't necessarily belong to one individual.
Okay.
There are very different people who puts their vehicles under that name. When you hear of some supermarkets by a particular name, it's not that those supermarkets are owned by one individual. You buy a brand name, you have a company which you have a helicopter, you put it there, we manage it, of course you pay.
Okay.
So not that I have all those helicopters that operate under my name are mine. They're not. I'm just doing business. Yeah.
So those are just rumors, because they even said you have a private jet.
No, rumors are there. Even you had rumors that some individuals were saying that you graduated from MKU.
Yeah, I did.
Some people say that they never saw you going to class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's true.
Others from my village say that you came to Sehendu, you picked our girl demo on Facebook, you brought her here, you impregnated her. Those are rumors.
Well,
Those are rumors.
well, how sure are you that they are rumors?
That's rumors.
Umepima watoto.
Yeah. In fact, when I came with some heshima fulani kwamba huyu ni shemeji. Yeah. Heshima fulani.
Okay. Yeah, hiyo heshima ikuwe tu.
And rumors are made to distract people from focusing.
Yeah.
When you are driving to your destiny, you don't look at the rear mirror.
Yeah.
The things that are past are immaterial. What is important are the things that you are seeing and the things that you will see in the far end corner.
Yeah, rumors are always around the corner.
Yes.
Even now, in the comment section, they're writing RIP Brian, RIP Brian. Who's Brian? Do you know any Brian?
I have no idea which Brian they are talking about.
Yeah, some RIP Brian, RIP Brian. We're like, oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, because there was in 2022.
Yes.
There was a shooting of a guy called Brian Olunga.
Yes.
I think it was the aid to your arrival, and the story was like, oh, you shot him, stuff like. You saw that?
I think those were rumors that ended up with the High Court in Bungoma.
Okay.
And they were dismissed after 8 months. I went through the court process before a competent judge. They called their witnesses, and it was very clear that I was never, not even closer to those allegations. That's why I'm working. God has continued to lift me from one grace to the other, because there are some sins when you commit, they are both punishable before men and punishable before God.
Oh God.
The fact that from that time I've been moving from one glory to the other, the love that I enjoy from the people of Bungoma has been increasing day by day. It means those who are just rumors that were dismissed by the High Court sitting in Bungoma. I have no idea what transpired, and even me, I would want to know really what the truth is all about.
Did they find the truth?
They didn't, because the people who are investigating, they thought I'm the one who shot him. So when you allege they were prosecuting the matter in the media, that we saw him, but when time of coming before the judge and giving evidence, I mean, the judge is the only person who has the competence of analyzing the evidence brought before the court, and they decide whether the person before standing trial has a case to answer or not. And from my case, that matter ended at no case to answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you've had some serious controversies. Mi nafikirianga zangu ni mwecheche, but zako
No,
ni
but
mwecheche.
when you hear an individual has a lot of controversies or rumors,
Okay, yeah.
When you have a lot of rumors surrounding an individual, it means that the individual has support base across the country. But when you have a small fan base of about 500 people, then nobody bothers about you.
Okay.
Kenyans bother about an individual who's a rising star. When you are a rising star, you attract both love and hate.
True.
You
That
get the
one I've
point?
seen firsthand.
Yeah. But in terms of integrity, I want to tell you, Obinna, that all the leaders from Bungoma could be among the very few who have impeccable integrity.
But you were summoned by EACC. Ulipiga contractor coffee.
Someone where? You know, that is just
Salimia contractor.
no, we were just acting TikTok. People took that matter. People blew that matter out of proportion.
Hey, umekuwa content creator.
No, we are just acting TikTok.
Oh,
Yeah, people-
that's the same thing you're doing with Steve K.
No, people just took that
Kuna
matter
video
out of,
ukipiga Steve K. Unajua Steve
yeah.
K ni mtu wangu sana.
No, he's my friend. You know, number one, let me tell you. Now, you know, the fact that the allegations were that he had done some work under NGCDF Kimilili Constituency,
Okay.
it means at least NGCDF Kimilili Constituency has no boundaries in terms of allowing the fund to benefit the life of very many young men who are industrious, who have a company and they feel like instead of just idling around town,
Yeah.
singing one term or two term from morning to evening, at least they can engage in some meaningful contractual work for them to make money.
Okay.
So that is the positive that you need to look at.
Okay.
Number two is that Steve K himself is not complaining. He's not complaining.
Oh mwana wanyola.
Yeah.
Oh
Finished it. Not
wanyola.
complaining.
Umuseje ulimpea maziwa?
We went to court. No. You know, we went to court. Steve, let me tell you, my history with Steve K is more richer than him with you or anybody else.
Okay. That can
When
be true.
Steve K was an up and coming musician, he used to sing in my campaign meetings between 2013 and 2017, before I became a member of parliament. Steve K was mobilizing crowds for me before I will finally arrive and address the people.
Okay.
And of course, we had a contractual agreement which I used to pay him to sing in my meetings. People could come in, you know. It is that action of Steve K singing in my campaign meetings that got the attentions of the industry across the country.
Okay.
So even if whatever happened between me and him happened, and he was a bit jittery for whatever purpose,
Jittery.
eventually,
Ulimweka coffee.
but
Yes,
of course,
jittery.
now, of course, now you know there are things which happens, and you look at where you've come from, then that becomes an issue.
Did you ever tell him sorry?
Absolutely, yes.
Na akakusamea hivyo.
Kabisa. In fact, we are more tighter than we used to be.
Nistaki kuwa motaita kama hiyo ndio case. But you're born and raised in Kimilili.
Yes, I was born and raised in Kimilili.
Okay.
Not just in Kimilili. At some point, we lost both our parents. Then I moved from, of course, when both parents departs, the relatives will come and share the children.
Oh,
So I was shared and went to live in a place called Siboti in Bungoma Constituency.
okay.
That's where I first, that's where I stayed and first did my KCP before I came back to Kimilili and went to class 7. And the research for KCP, hoping that I will go to learn at Starehe Boys Center, because we were told that orphans at Starehe Boys Center don't pay fees.
And then they live a good life.
They live a good life. Yeah,
You are brilliant in school. Because for you to go to Starehe, you have to be very sharp.
absolutely. Brilliance is my weakness. Yes.
Then ulienda paje JKUAT?
You know, first I went to Kenya Power Lighting Training School. Kenya Power Lighting Training School, that's where I first began my engineering training.
Okay.
Doing a diploma in electrical engineering. And of course, I ended up working there. I've worked in Nairobi here, Nairobi area. I've well known around Kikuyu, Lavington area. That was my zone during that time.
Who connect
I
steamer?
I was a revenue protection officer. A revenue protection officer is you inspect
steam
no. That is a disconnection, reconnection clerk.
Oh, okay.
Or technician. My responsibility was to inspect electrical installations and then detect whether the company is losing revenue or not. So I was simply looking for people who steal power.
Oh, mtu akiweka
Yes.
Underwaters. When unasema pale kuna ule ame.
Yes.
Okay.
I find out, and then that is now how I furthered my education. I left Kenya Power, went to work with the Kenya Air Force. I was in Moi Air Base. I went to Laikipia Air Base.
What are you doing at the Air Force?
Aircraft technician. Yes.
Ulienda kupenda mandege kitambo?
Absolutely.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But I was not there for too long. Then my boss was late General Gola. But then he was base commander Laikipia Air Base.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So where hujaipigana basically uko kwa military?
I was trained to fight as well. Absolutely.
Unaweza vaa mtu vibaya sana?
There is nothing deadly, mbaya sana.
Ai.
Ala, unataka tuanze Obinna?
Relax. Leo tulikuwa na story hapa. Dapaman. Mtumishi. Hao watu wameenda kunywa chai. Waluya wenye shughuli. Tuko kazi anyway. So tulikuwa hapa na story, tulikuwa na compare Dapaman ni wa Busia. Akasema gavana wake Otuoma anaweza piga magavana wote. Then Mtumishi akasema commando ni fire. So unajua commando?
No, but that commando is a fake commando. The original, let me tell you, my friend.
Hey.
The original commando in North Rift and Western, the person who trained, is Didmus Barasa. That's why you've realized when him and I meet somewhere, the real commando is just seen. I am the real commando. When you are a commando, you don't announce that I'm the commando. When you see someone saying I am commando, he's not. It's a Punoko commando. Commandos don't announce.
Si tulisema hapa tawe anaweza vaa nani vibaya sana.
No.
Sasa wewe ndio tero.
Those are paramilitary. You did paramilitary ile ya machief. Ile ya kufanya hapa Embakasi. My friend, the real commando is myself.
You have martial art skills.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, this my body is a military body. In the military, you have a book where you keep records of how many press-ups you're supposed to make in a month, in a year. You know?
Hey.
And unless when you are a general, because a general doesn't fight. A general is a war planner.
Strategy.
Yes, he sits somewhere, even if he has a belly of 500 kgs. His role is to put here coffee and a cigarette or cigar, and he is studying the enemy patterns and coming up with the formula that his troops were supposed to use. Then he communicates them to the people in the battlefield.
Okay.
So when you are that rank of fighting, when you get fat to a particular level, your services will be terminated as no longer required.
Okay.
So
yes.
Don't ever mention that George is a commando. George is a fake commando. I'm the original commando.
Nyi Waluya wawili kujeni.
Yes.
Mambo imechemuka hapa.
Imechemuka.
Wewe ulisema Natembea ndio commando.
Yes.
na anaweza piga gavana huyu Otuoma.
Ehe.
Sasa Mandidi amesema hao wote ni mafake commando, yeye ndio original commando na anaweza wapiga wote
Mimi
wawili.
najua Ango alikuwa soja.
Alikuwa anatengeneza ndege kwa nini, si alikuwa soja.
Na kwani
Even that is a soldier.
He's a soldier.
Ah,
Kenya Air Force.
It's a soldier.
ai.
Kuna nilikwambia
Engineer wa ndege.
No, you see,
training.
Air Force is a logistical support service to the fighting units in the Kenya Army. But when you're also offering logistical support and you are gotten in the melee of that fighting, you also fight. Even doctors in the military, they are soldiers.
Na lazima waende training
The soldiers.
RTS.
Na
Si ndio kocha?
fada wenye wako kwa jeshi pia ni jeshi.
Absolutely. Yes, when you are delivering a sermon in a military camp which can be in a bush, and then you deliver a sermon, but you have your rifle.
Tunadeliver someone ama risasi.
Yeah, anything happens there, you weka Biblia chini unalala mbele.
It depends with the enemy.
Lakini ni ukweli juu hata kwa jela kuna mapasta na askari.
Correct. Lakini ukijaribu kutoroka anawacha hiyo, anakukamata.
Tena hata anakupiga kuliko askari wa.
Absolutely.
So, lazima waende training.
But kama we ni military, si tuliona vita yako na Simbarati.
Hakutaka.
No, you know, I didn't want. And by the way, people don't know why I had a beef with Sibarati. Many people don't know. Today, people don't know. The person that Simba Arati was to beat were two ladies, Rehema Jaldesa and Anab Gure, the then woman rep for Garissa. Because they came when they had some disagreement. Until when you listen to that video, you will see Jaya saying, yeah, to kimbia wapi, kwenda wapi, you know, get the point. But I knew Anna was pregnant. So when I came in now to say, Simba, please, we can have a discussion. We are all colleagues. But of course, I mentioned I was deliberate to say colleagues in my local dialect, you know, because the Kisis, Abagusi are also Bantus.
Yeah.
So I said in my language that Simba can be able to understand me very well. So it is those ladies that I was protecting. Yes.
Patata fatali ya Ango. Wewe uliona Mashali aliingia kwa nyumba hapo ya jirani?
But they only showed when my cape was being taken.
This one.
But they didn't show when I was giving him some blows. They didn't show there. The media, there are some things the media cannot show you.
The camera conveniently went off.
Absolutely went off.
Hey, Mandidi.
Yes, it's true. I mean, look for the proper video. Don't look for the video
That
where
has been doctored.
some media houses will not show you.
So from the point of kofi yako kutolewa kwa kichwa mbio,
Yes.
ikapatikana kwa baba's bedroom, at what point ndio ulikuwa unatuma mablo zako ndio tutafute hiyo part?
No, you see, look for a video where Gladys Wanga was crying. Oh, Didmus is there. We can't even enter inside. Why are you blah blah blah? I had beefed up my security, and I decided that I'm no longer going to be a gentleman. You know, I had downloaded my file of military marshals.
Ango kusema ukweli tu.
My friend.
Ni Ango ndalaniwa.
So,
Mnaweza tembea na Yesu.
So-
Maliza hii kesi.
eh,
Well, so you had a stint at the military for how long?
for about 3 years.
Oh,
No,
that's
I'm
not a short
a
time.
one man who likes you go somewhere, you do a legacy,
Yeah.
you exit,
Okay.
go do a lot of things.
Okay.
I left the military, went to work with the Teacher Service Commission as a facilities officer. I've worked with Shell. I went to Australia. I came back. Came back in this
Umezunguka.
country. Yes. I became the regional director for Bolore Africa Logistics, overseeing the operations of in about 11 African countries. In 2017, I was elected a member of parliament. When I came into parliament, I was privileged to have served Kenyans in the Committee of Administration and National Security,
Okay.
Yes.
What made you get into politics? Because you are doing very well in the private sector and other things you are doing. How did
When
you
I
enter
was
politics?
when I was a student, actually we used to be myself, the MP for Bumula Jack Wamboka, the long time PA to Eugene Wamalwa called Kizito Temba, and another gentleman from Kisii called Kepta Ombati. As we were the spanner boys of Michael Kijana Wamalwa,
Okay.
we are the one who beat up Raila Odinga mercilessly in Thika Stadium. We were the people. We were.
You are the goons.
Absolutely, we were the goons of that time. You know.
Yeah.
And then what made me feel I was very important is because one day, when I was still in the military, I got a call from Muskari Kombo. They called me through a guy called Nasuma. I went to, he told me, Mzee anataka kukuona. So I went to, Mzee sasa ni Muskari Kombo.
Oh, okay.
But then he was chairman of Forum for Restoration of Democracy, Kenya, Fort Kenya. So I went to Oginga Odinga House, somewhere after Yaya Center, on the way to Katanga Road, on the way to Adams Arcade, Valley Arcade, Adams, yes. So I went with him and they told me there are people who are planning to swindle him of the party. So he wanted me to go and attend their meeting as a spy. So I went to Sportsview Kasarani. I found Boni Khalwale and the late Soita Shitanda and a guy called Captain. They were now coming up with a lineup. So there I had to declare that I want to be part and parcel of anything that will see Kombo out of this party. So they gave me a seat. I sat there. So I was taking down the minutes of whatever these people were discussing.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
From the interim officials, who is the chairman, the vice chairman, director of elections. Then I left there by around 2:30, early morning. I went back to the party headquarters of Fort Kenya to brief Muskari Kombo. I found him with the lawyer Mutula Kilonzo, senior, not junior, senior. I briefed them of what had transpired. Little did I know that early in the morning, they had used my information to file to make an application at the High Court barring the Register of Political Parties from accepting the interim leadership of Fort Kenya and they term it like a coup d'etat. So that is the time that I begin to get interested in politics. And that is it.
So you're basically a snitch.
At that time, I was on a particular assignment.
Oh, okay.
I was on a particular assignment, on a particular mission.
Okay.
In that meeting, and based on my findings, the leadership that they had done, the High Court was able to issue restraining orders to the Register of Political Parties not to accept them because they were basically party swindlers.
Okay. So this is when now you got interested in politics.
Yes.
And you decided to start where?
You
went direct to MP?
Yes, why not?
And
I was elected member of parliament at the age 28. I broke the record that was held by Musalia Mudavadi in Western Kenya. They have never elected a young man. They were just electing people who have retired from civil service, people who are 63. And I opened, in fact, people like Peter Salasia and the rest of our young people from Western Kenya who are now members of parliament. They should thank me for leading their way.
Okay.
In fact, even now, when you watch the videos of politicians and leaders from Western Kenya who are yearning for elective positions, most of them are young people now because I broke the glass ceiling.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Nice. Interesting. Then you got in, the guys elected you. Who did you take over from?
So a gentleman called Suleiman Kasuti Murunga, the guy who used to own Sima's restaurant.
Oh, Sima's haikuwa imeoniwa na Wakongo?
No, it was for Suleiman Kasuti Murunga, but of course there was a case between some other people. but then he was the one running it for very many years. Yeah.
But hata si Masai kwa restaurant. Okay, okay, there was food. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. You got in through Akina Amani Peace Coalition, the political parties that you are in.
The party that I won on was Jubilee. I have never won on a popular party. I contested on Jubilee.
Okay.
I was elected. And then during my second term, of course, I had left Jubilee and joined UDA.
Yeah.
I was elected with more votes.
What's your strategy like?
It's just simple. The easiest career is politics.
For you?
Politics is about the people. It's about what the people want.
Okay.
And if you are to do something that is contrary to the people, you seek their consent and you tell them why you are supporting this. Like, for example, when many members of parliament were voting for that 2024 finance bill without knowing, me, I had put money to build the Huduma Center. And when I went to my constituency and I explained to them, they gave me overwhelming support to go and vote yes. That is why immediately after I voted, and after the historical invasion of parliament by the young people of our country, when many members of parliament were fleeing their constituencies, I went and did a very huge meeting in my hometown, Kimilili town. I even had to remove my jacket, my shoes, figuratively gave it out as a gesture, implying that from the time those people elected me, I have gone out of my way, within and beyond my abilities, to change their life. They had no problem with me. Of course, there were some characters who went to began some fake hashtags that my house had been invaded. Some were saying we are on our way to Musalimia. Others were saying that they were even coming to take my wife.
Yeah.
And I was asking, like, do I look like I'm that character where you can just show up and you take my wife?
Bibi mwenye akiulizwa anasemaje?
No, because that is not possible, my friend. That's not possible, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in fact, there was a fake video of some young people pushing some wall. My village home doesn't have a wall. So that was all made up. It's just natural. I live within the community. My fence is all natural.
So umesema tukuje na slasher.
You can come. If you come with a panga, you will find yourself inside. But you will not going to manage it because the neighbors around me are my security. And I'm among the very few people who I just make a signal like, come. You will see 10,000 people in my compound. Yes.
Wanasemanga unatumia juju, by the way.
Nothing.
I've heard the story. Wanasemanga kofia yako ndio powers.
Nothing. I have nothing. It is just a normal kofia from Paulina George.
Why do you wear it?
I wear it just like fashion. The same way Baba used to like that.
Also, ulichagua tu red coffee.
Yes, I just but that time we were in Jubilee, and the Jubilee was our colors were red. You know, but now it became part of my fashion.
Okay.
When I go to parliament without it, I'm sure 2 or 3 members of parliament would rise on a point of order, seeking clarification from the speaker on whether I'm properly dressed or not.
Oh.
Because I don't have it.
I've seen even guys in Kimilili wear it. I've seen some guys wear it.
Yeah. You know when you see, there are very many people now who are wearing this red cap.
Yes.
There are many up and coming young comedians who try to imitate me with this kofia.
Yeah.
Of course, you see, the most intelligent people are comedians. They are very intelligent.
Yeah.
They cannot do a comedy on a comedy on something or imitate someone whom they know is not interesting.
Okay.
So you can't. There are very many good people in this country, but the
They chose
comedians.
you.
They chose me. So they knew when you want to be a brand,
Okay.
you tag a big brand.
Okay. So your powers are not in that red coffee.
Absolutely, absolutely. None at all.
Okay. When you are your first time in parliament, you are the first time MP, what were some of the biggest obstacles that ulifika ukasema okay, kumbe this and this happens this way, this nini? Did you have any of those? Ama wewe ulikuwa tu because from the military?
No, you see, I went to parliament and then, but of course I had to make my name by making contributions on the floor of the house.
Okay.
Even at one point, I dared to collect signatures and impeach the then CS Treasury, Henry Rotich. That I was dreaming big, you know.
Yeah.
I knew it's difficult to impeach a government minister. By that time, I collected signatures.
Okay.
Uh,
Why did
to
you want to
impeach.
impeach him? What did he do?
By that time, he had allowed this contraband sugar. You remember during the sugar report, we had
Okay.
allowed this contraband sugar with mercury.
It was true that we had sugar with mercury.
Of course, we go by the report that it was said at that time. They say that sugar had mercury.
Yeah.
When a government officer addresses the people and say that this sugar that we have nabbed had mercury. I think it was even Matiang'i who said that. I mean, I had to believe him and go ahead to impeach him because he's the one who gave out the license
Okay.
to allow that contraband sugar into our country.
Okay. So you had to fight your way up the
So
ranks.
when I went there and trying to make my name on the floor of the house, but then later on I realized that you go to balance your time in terms of when is it necessary to appear on the floor of the house, yeah, and when is it necessary to go somewhere in a government office, either with Kenya Power Lighting, if your people have a problem with power, or go to see the Minister for Water, you go to see the various agencies, because when you do budgeting in the National Assembly, the bigger picture is implementing whatever that you put in the budget. So you have to go and do a meeting with the agencies that are supposed to implement. That is what you put in the budget. Otherwise, if we don't, it can be removed through supplementary budget. Or basically, there will be no exchequer release. So you have to balance between when to appear on the floor of the House, making arguments, and when to visit various government offices looking for services for your people.
Okay.
So when I came in the second term, I had now become a veteran. I think I only go to parliament when there are very important matters that affects my people. But if there are just issues that are general that don't affect my people,
You don't go.
I don't go to parliament, but I visit, I hop from one government office to the other,
Okay.
soliciting for services for my people.
So like this year, you haven't gone to parliament.
Of course, I've gone to parliament, but not as many frequencies than I did in last year,
Okay.
in last parliament.
The last parliament.
Yeah.
Then later you also switched to UDA. What made you switch from Jubilee to UDA?
Initially, before I joined Jubilee, I was in Fort Kenya.
Okay.
But then I realized that it was going to be very difficult for me to beat the director of elections of Fort Kenya, who was the then member of parliament for Kimilili.
Okay.
And when we were doing meetings across the county, I saw there was some favoritism from sections of party honchos. So I left that Fort Kenya, and I joined ODM for 3 days. I joined ODM. Baba gave me a direct ticket. Then when I was on my way going to Bungoma, of course, with that ODM ticket, I think William Ruto called me By then he was a deputy president. So he called me. I went to meet with him for the first time. He invited me to join his party, HPD. I was not convinced, but somehow when I was leaving, I said Jubilee is the best option, because in Bungoma there were two protagonists. There was Fort Kenya, of course under code at that time, and Ken Lusaka. So there were actually two people whom, when both of them are your enemies, political enemies, you feel the heat. So I said I will join one of them. And Fort Kenya was not an option because it was within, it had director of elections, and the ODM, there were sibling rivalry within the affiliate parties within CORD, Center for Reforms and Democracy. So I said now the easiest one for me to cross ranks with was Ken Lusaka, who was then defending his seat as governor of Bungoma. And also he also come from my constituency. So that's how now I cemented my position within a Jubilee party. And later on, of course, we were all chased by Uhuru Kenyatta. I was whipped from the powerful committee of administration and national security, by then chaired by the late Koinange, the member of parliament for Kiambaba at that time. They took me to the members' welfare committee together with Kimani Shungwa, that our role was to test food and see whether there's enough salt or not. You can imagine that is what Uhuru Kenyatta and his party thought, that my only contribution to the people of Kenya is to serve in the members' welfare committee.
But someone has to do it.
Whose my role is to, you know, when you go to parliament, when you join parliament, you are given, you forward your CV. Your CV and experience determines which committee you are going to serve.
Okay.
So from my CV and what I was doing at the members' welfare committee, catering, by that time it was called catering committee, not members' welfare. We expanded it to mean members' welfare later on, but during that time, it was called catering committee.
Mambo ya chakula.
You can imagine.
Na utaki kushughulikia mambo ya chakula.
Mimi, in fact, even if it's eating, I don't eat much food.
Okay.
So it's an area that I'm completely incompetent.
So si ungekataa tu.
Of course, I never went. I never attended any single committee meeting of that.
Ya chakula ya parliament.
I never even. Yes.
So ukakasirika ndo ukatoka Jubilee.
No, you see, I was brought to Jubilee by William Ruto.
Okay.
And you see, when you get married to a man, when your mother gets married to a man, na ameenda na wewe unajua huyu sio baba yangu, baba yetu ako mahali pengine.
I get you.
Ni mama tu ameolewa na sisi. The day ule mama anafunga virago, you have no business. You are part of her journey.
Fuata mama yako.
Unafuata mama yako.
Okay.
That's actually what happened.
Ah, nice. So kamfuata mkaendelea.
Correct.
Oh, nice. Do you think it was the right choice?
Not that it was the right choice, it was the best choice.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's discuss your party, UDA. You're a member, and it positioned itself as the party for the hustlers. Came with a bottom-up economic transformation agenda. What is your view in delivering such results to Kenyans? Do you think it has delivered what it promised during campaigns?
Yes, we have delivered what we promised to Kenyans. When we were loud enough about bottom-up economic transformation,
Okay.
where I attended 23 out of 47 economic forums that were conducted by our party across the 47 counties. And we signed the delivery charters,
Okay.
economic charters, and what we will deliver to them. And one of the thing that was loud in all the meetings we went were these women saying that they will even get small money from Shylocks,
Okay.
you know, where you borrow somewhere 1,000 shillings to do business. Then after 2 days, you're supposed to pay even 3,000 shillings. And we felt like we must come up with a fund that will be able to support these people who are engaged in this type of enterprise. That is how the Hustler Fund came in. Billions of shillings are now in the circulation, Hustler Fund. But of course, it has a setback of poor repayment rate. But at least we have we lived up to our promise that we will create a fund where our women, mama mboga, people who engage in small businesses required to be saved from the high interest rates charged by Shylocks. This Nyota program that we are talking about, it is all money meant to support our young people. And we have also been keen to ensure that the content of our constitution, of our laws, that 30% of all tenders must be reserved for women and the young people of our country. We have been true advocates. But of course, there are setbacks where some individuals will front young people as directors of the company, but themselves are the ones now who go to withdraw the money once the contract is executed and paid. They only use those companies to secure businesses. There is a way that we are trying to find out when we can do it. The second promise was the fact that many Kenyan people could not afford to foot for their medical bills. That's why our government decided to bring in the universal health care. We are able to repeal our laws and change NHIF to Social Health Authority. But of course, while we are aware that the SHA is much more beneficial to many Kenyan people than NHIF, we're also aware of a few challenges which are not major within the implementation of a Social Health Authority. Some of the challenges are occasioned by service providers themselves, because when they begin to falsify claims with the view of swindling money that is meant to support Kenyan people afford medication, then common sense will tell you that once these claims are received, they are verified. And the process of verifying them creates a backlog where some institutions will have their money, their refund being delayed. But the ministry is working hard to be able to automate the system of verifying the claims so that we can move much more faster. And because the number of Kenyans who are now under SHA are like 10 times more than those who are on NHIF, the claims that are being launched are huge, they are voluminous. And that explains why there is always a delay in disbursing this money to some of these institutions. Secondly, there is no law, there is no system that will miss challenges. Everywhere there are challenges. Even here on Obinna TV, you have challenges. That's why you have hired and employed these very many young people to be able to support you in mitigating those challenges. So we have employees in Kenya whose responsibility is to comb through the implementation of SHA, identify areas where we have gaps, where we have challenges, and use those challenges and customer complaints as a tool for continuous improvement. So it will always be better day by day. We were also, when we came in and our president was sworn in, of course, it's common knowledge that some of our people in government by then, when they knew that Baba has lost, they went to withdraw money from Treasury. We took over the economy of this country at its lowest. The dollar was very expensive. There were debts that could plunge our country into financial distress. And you know, those debts that Uhuru Kenyatta had borrowed on behalf of Kenyans, the collaterals were the Kenyan people. That's why anybody who is a citizen of this country, either by birth or naturalization, we had a debt to pay. And, you know, there are those collaterals, the assets of the country forms part of the collaterals. And, you know, the assets of the country are both the human resources, which are basically people, and the assets like KPA, Kenya Airways. So we were even worried that China will come and take over our ports. And if they will not be convinced that the ports will not pay the money that we owe them, they could have decided to pick all able-bodied men to go and work in China for free and they deduct the money that they had borrowed, Kenya had borrowed from them. But we struggled to increase our own source revenue, to be able to raise our local revenue and got Kenya out of debt distress up to where we are now. We stabilized the dollar. You appreciate that at least we have implemented 92% of our manifesto. Okay. There are some which are remaining, and of course we have another 1 year to go. And from where I sit, even if you set an exam, if you get over 80%, that's an A-. The teacher will say, keep it up.
What did you say about the claim about ballooning costs that is very constant with this government?
Yeah, we had some bit of increasing the cost of living. Of course, because also the pay slips was rated with a view of raising revenue, both for the government to operate and also for Kenyans' savings. We increased the amount of money that Kenyans were contributing to NSSF, which is basically their money, which they will get the money upon retirement. And of course, the economy at that time was not doing well. And when the economy is not doing well, it's not just the government that suffers, even the people also suffers. But I am happy that we are beginning to free the payslip. Of course, we increased the number of, we increased the taxable salary from, I think, 25,000 to around 50,000 shillings, which is the category where majority Kenyans lie. We have also increased the minimum wage. The government has also increased increased salaries for civil servants. So we are kind of now engaging in discussions on how we can now begin to lessen the cost of living.
I'm talking about ballooning of costs in the things you are doing. For example, you'll talk about the way you guys have done this, you've done that. For example, the dollar being stabilized. A lot of people said that's a problem your government caused because mulipandisha, then mukaishukisha, then unasema solution. Same as mafuta, happened less than a month ago, inapandishwa, then nashukishwa kidogo, then mnasema solution. If you look at, for example, like Talanta Stadium, you look at the money put in, you look at the money that we are going to pay, guys are like, come on, really? President just launched the overpass at Junction, Ngong Road.
I think, with all fairness, there are very many good materials that you can read about the economy of our country. That includes audits by World Bank, IMF, because you seem to be reading the fake books written by Wamunyoro Economics. And,
no, I'm on the ground. I can see what is happening.
It is
so I'm
not
just running them by you.
It is not true. It is not true to say that our government deliberately increased the cost of dollar. It's not possible. In fact, one of the reasons why the dollar became very expensive is because of many investors that shied away. But of course, during that time, you know, there were maandamano all over, the maandamano on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And there was some bit of sabotage by certain families in our country. You know, the reason why Kenya doesn't print dollars. Dollars comes from foreign countries. When there is no business between Kenya and those foreign countries, that makes those foreigners, when they are buying goods and services in Kenya, they are buying it using dollar. When Kenyans in the diaspora send money to our country, they send the money in form of dollars. Once the money hits the Kenyan banks, it forms part of the dollar reserve. When there is no dollar reserve, then the dollar becomes very expensive. So tell me now, explain to me, how can a government decide to increase the cost of a dollar? In common language, a dollar becomes expensive because it is scarce, it's not found.
Yeah, hoarding is one of the ways.
How do you hoard dollars?
See, in the reserve, you pretend like there's no money there.
Most banks that are in a country most of them are private.
But the ones that you have control over.
Pardon?
The ones that you have control over.
The individual that has a control over banks in our country more than government is Kenyatta family.
The ones who go and get the dollars and then now they keep them in their vaults and everything.
I don't think.
You all have a lot of money.
I don't think. Please, Obinna, you are a very serious Kenyan. Please don't bring comedy into economics of this country, please. Please don't bring comedy in.
Mi nakwambia tu venye wanasema kwa ground sasa tena.
No, that is not true.
Aya, wacha sasa nikuulize hivi. Talanta Stadium. Si umejua pesa imetengenezwa nayo? Na umejua pesa tunaenda kulipa? Is a math thing?
You know, at least you can see Talanta Stadium.
Or at least.
Previously, before, the same money was being used. You borrow the money, you don't see where the money goes to.
So at least
I am happy today that President William Ruto can account for each and every cent that his government has borrowed.
You're sure about that?
We will show you the tangible projects funded by this money. Go back and retrieve the file when Uhuru Kenyatta was president of Kenya. How much money was borrowed? How much money was raised in Eurobond? And show me.
Governor, people don't have a problem with the maendeleo that is happening. We can see 2-3 things that are happening. People have a problem in the financial management of the projects that are happening. Like I've just told you, Talanta Stadium, we know it's happening. We've seen it here at least, yeah. It's there. But guys are like, was this a necessity now? And this other thing needed to be sorted. Secondly, I just said the example for Ngong Road, the overpass. Just like, oh wow, it's beautiful, it's reducing traffic. Now guys can go and watch AFCON at Atlanta Stadium, which is good. But if you look at the price of that overpass and the price of the bypass, hiyo ya kutoka all soaps all the way to Taj Mall, it's more or less the same amount. Guys are like, okay, come on. This is 850 meters.
You know,
That one is how many kilometers?
you know,
So guys are like, come on. Even if you're saying times have changed, there is inflation, Guys are like, come on, man.
you know,
Those are the questions that guys are raising.
you know, let me say something that is very fundamental.
Okay.
We have two levels of government.
Okay.
We have national government and county governments.
Okay.
We have 47 county governments that equally have a share from the national budget to implement
Okay.
economic stimulus programs and other development that will sort out local problems. From where I sit, it is the responsibility of national government to come up with projects that will woo investors. There are two levels of development. We have the development in a country that will attract investors, where you have an express from the airport to Westlands, where you have the Bomas International Conference, or the overpass that we are talking about, Talanta National Stadium that will put Kenyan sporting arena into international standards. That is the role of a national government. But the county government have a responsibility of making Kenya equally attractive when you view it from where you live, the village where you live. From the village of, you get the point.
With that. You don't have a
So
problem
saying
with
that the money that we have put on Talanta Stadium, the money that we have put on the overpass, that money could have been used to do something else. I think it's
not
it's
the
moving
overpass.
point.
Talanta Stadium is what people are saying. The overpass guys are questioning the amount put in there to build that overpass that's about 850 meters, is what they're saying. And comparing it to other projects, road projects, guys are like, come on, these costs are not making sense.
But also, I know if you look at it from just plain viewpoint, then you will entertain discussions like what you are trying to put across. But when you look at how many appointments, multi-billion appointments are cancelled because of traffic, how many business deals fail to materialize because somebody was stuck on traffic. Look at how the economy of our country is affected because of traffic. Even relationships are broken. You are rushing to go and meet up with your girlfriend. You are stuck on traffic. She thinks you are lying.
Okay, since
By
you're
the time
looking
you
at
get there,
traffic,
she's left.
Since you're looking at traffic and how much money has been lost in traffic, let's bring in maandamano. Like, for example, on Tuesday, nobody went to work. And a lot of money, billions and billions were lost because people are not going to work. So if we look at how much money we're losing having this back and forths with the government and the police and everything, what do you think can be the solution now to help this? Because why are people undermining? We know why. So what's the solution around it? So that we don't just say, oh, if
But
guys stuck in traffic.
I don't think Obinna, if you know why people protest.
I know. The ones I went to, at least one was.
I don't know. I don't
brutality.
think if you know.
The other one was, the first one was finance bill that I went to. The second one was police brutality when the gentleman.
Let me tell
was
you.
killed in police
Let me
custody.
tell you. Let me tell you, my friend.
Okay.
If civil society want to put pressure on government, they will find maandamano. That's number one. Number two, when a politician who has become unpopular wants to show government that he is popular, and he attempts to destabilize government, he funds maandamano. If you go and ring fence the people who are participating in demonstrations and take them into a stadium and begin to interview one by one while they are taking part in that demonstrations, they will give you 1,001 reasons. So that's why I'm saying many people go to streets to participate in demonstrations. Some don't know even why they are demonstrating. They only try to, for the purposes of securing the police permit to demonstrate. You have to come up with a good cause. Like recently, when during Sabasaba, whatever way it is, I saw James Orengo on motorbikes running from this corner to the other corner. What do you think, James Orengo was mobilizing people against the government and mobilizing people for the political faction which he belongs. He never meant his whatever he was doing. If he meant what he was doing by remembering the Kenyans who lost their lives during the struggle for democracy in our country, he could have even convened mass prayers. But running from one corner of town to the other one, making noise and causing chaos and mayhem, that is not commemorating, you know.
Okay.
So that's why I'm telling you the reason. I agree that when we have a shutdown because of a demonstration, we lose a lot of money as a country. And we need to invest in the system that will ensure that Kenyans who have grievances, who have a petition, they can do so peacefully without affecting the other businesses who have got nothing to do with them. The same way we need to invest in such system is the same way we have invested in a flyover, so that we can be able to reduce traffic within town.
Okay.
It's like somebody can tell you that why are we doing the road from Westlands to Malaba, the road Mausamiti to Malaba? If you could have taken that money and ensure that everybody in Kenya has piped water. Provision of piped water is a role of 47 governments. The government has given them money to do that, but the role of national government is to be able to come up with projects that cuts across, that goes beyond a particular count, but that are beneficial to the whole country. Yeah. And if you look at the benefit that will come as a result of people living in Nairobi getting to Bungoma on time and safe, then you will understand that it's worth investing such amount of money in doing of these roads. Okay. Yeah.
So as we wrap up this conversation about UDA and our president, you've been supporting the president. Also, you're supporting his 2-term. You're like he should serve for 2 terms. But why do you think his popularity has dwindled? For example, when he was getting in, he was very popular. A lot of people were like, okay, Hustler, CCC dynasty against Hustler, Situko Hustler, Mama Mboga, Boda, the whole shebang. But at the moment, he's not that popular to the people. Majority of the people are just like, we are on the edge. We're like, do we really want to get him back here? Why do you think that is?
You know, I spent 90% of my life in the village.
In Kimilili?
Yes. Not just Kimilili, but in Bungoma.
Okay.
It is not true that when William Ruto formed government, he was popular across the country everywhere. That's not correct.
But he was people's favorite.
No, let me explain to you.
Okay.
At that time, William Ruto was popular in the Rift Valley and Central Kenya. Rift Valley and Central Kenya. The other parts of the country was not such popular. Of course, in Luo Nyanza, both the Kisii Nyanza, his Baba was popular. Kakamega, Baba was more popular than William Ruto in Kakamega, right? Baba was more popular than William Ruto in Lower Eastern Coast, and even in Masaini. This is a fact. William Ruto performed averagely in those areas that I've just talked about. You know, as we speak today, his popularity has shifted. He's not highly popular in Mount Kenya, but he's extremely popular in Nyanza, where he was not popular. He's popular in Coast, where he was not popular. So the only area where we can debate the popularity of William Ruto is in central Kenya counties. So it cannot be true to say that because we have a lot of noise from Mount Kenya, of course being fueled by our former ally, Wamnyoro, whom we impeached. Now he is trying to behave like a gifted lover. That is not a reason to begin saying that the popularity of William Ruto in the whole country has gone down. No. The people who are a bit unhappy by our president, whom we are persuading, and of course, that is why IEBC will give us a window of about 90 days to campaign before we go to vote, are our young people, whom we understand because they have a new way of understanding things. They have a new way of, they have lived in a country where they have been promised of tomorrow, but they want to live today. So those are the people that have a problem with the president. But a number of them, we have persuaded them, and we are always burning midnight oil to continue persuading them. The good thing about our young people is that they are very understanding, they are very listening, and they are very analytical in terms of analyzing what you tell them. These are the interventions. Get the point? So, fair enough, if elections are held today, William Ruto will win.
Today?
Yes.
You want us to do a poll here now?
When you do a poll online here, it will be a poll only for the people who are watching Obinna Show and the fans of the fans. Listen, let me tell you, Obinna.
Yeah.
The fans of Obinna Show, which can necessarily be like equivalent of a one polling station. In Kenya, we have thousands of polling stations.
Okay.
You get the point?
Touche.
If the best opinion poll that you can go by to understand the popularity of Kenya Kwanza government is look at from the time when William Ruto was sworn in as president. How many by-elections have we had across the country, and how was the performance of UDA party? That will give you some kind of indication on whether William Ruto is unpopular or
But
popular.
we've seen the monies that you guys pour in it. Like, look at now, it's called All
Kalau.
Kalau.
But you
Look
see,
at now mattresses,
but
gas
you
cookers.
see All Kalau.
Like now is when you all decide these people
Yeah.
need to use cookers.
But
and
All Kalau cannot be used to generalize.
No, you've said we look at the by-elections.
Yeah.
Look at Wamudende. What happened? Look at, was it Malava?
Well, then we won. Malava, we won.
Yeah, but look at the money that was put in there. For you to put such much resources means there's something that's off.
Nobody quantified the amount of money that was put in to say that the money was put in is more than what. And usually, let me even ask you a very simple question now, Obinna.
Okay.
Even if you say that the government candidate has put in too much money, but the others are equally rich, they have looted this country. Why don't they? There is nobody who has blocked them from putting in too much money. They can put in too much money as they want. You know, those people are very lazy. They are lazy. They look for scapegoats. You cannot say that we won Malava and Beere because we put in too much money. Who blocked them from putting much money?
Do you see you guys winning on Kalau?
We are putting in our efforts to win All Kalau. We are putting in our efforts to win All Kalau.
Why do you guys want to win on Kalau so bad?
Because our business as a political party is not a charitable institution, it's not a governmental organization. Our aim is to consolidate power, winning elections,
Okay.
whether it's an MCA or a member of parliament or of whatever level.
Have you heard the stories that people are saying people who are allied to the two-term movement are delusional? Like they would not want to, they don't want to accept the reality on the ground. Like most of them will just be like, no, we are da. And they're saying that you guys are lying to the president, because if you tell the president the reality of what is happening, he'll see how he can adjust a few things. But if you tell him, no, president, they love you. It's just this and it's just that, he assumes that is what is happening. You've heard those stories?
You know, I have just told you that we are alive to the fact that we are not as popular as we used to be in Mount Kenya. And currently we are extremely popular. We are more popular than we used to be in Nyanza. We are more popular than we used to be in Western. We are more popular than we used to be in Coast, in our semi-arid and arid areas, our pastoralist communities. So how will we lose elections? There are people who are, in fact, when you listen to many Bonoko political analysts who are not practicing politicians, me, I can be both. I am a good political analyst because I'm both practicing and analyzing. Tell me, we went to elections in 2022 as Kenya Kwanza. The areas that were purely green was a color of Kenya Kwanza. The areas that were purely green, if the results that we got are something to go by, the Rift Valley and Mount Kenya. Coast was not. Nyanza was not. Western was not. Apart from Bungoma. The rest of the areas were Baba's support base. We are going to elections in 2027 with Mount Kenya attempting to slip away, but we are having a strong grip on it. We are going to the election now with Western Kenya turning green, Nyanza already green, Coast green. The rest, in fact, I can dare even say that all parts of our country are green in our favor. Where we are struggling because we have a lot of opposition is Lower Eastern and Mount Kenya. Not all of it.
Okay.
So how are you going to lose elections? If we won with the support of Rift Valley and Mount Kenya, Western, Nyanza, Coast, the areas of Kajiado, Northeastern, were not with us, but we won elections. But all those areas that I've mentioned are now in favor of William Ruto's re-election.
Okay. You know, you and I can sit here for the whole month discussing the re-election and no re-election, but msema kweli ni mo. Watu wakutane kwa
Yes.
kwa tepe.
Absolutely.
That is how we'll find out. Because even today, as other people come and say, one time, other people 2 time, other people long time, other no time. But kwa tepe, hapo ndo tukisikia mimi.
You know,
na hapa kwa.
Kenyans follow their leaders when they are casting their vote. Raila Odinga did very well in Kakamega because the leaders of Kakamega, elected leaders, were all with Baba. So the people of Kakamega followed their leaders to cast their votes in favor of Raila Amolo Odinga. No wonder we have the largest members of parliament in Kakamega are ODM. All those leaders are now chanting 2-term. The only anti. All elected leaders in Kakamega are chanting 2-term, apart from maybe one.
What of the Sisi ndio Sifuna movement?
Kakamega, I'm just talking about Peter Salasia, who is not a 2-term. He's chanting 1-term. But the majority of the MPs in Kakamega, all others in Kakamega are 2-term.
But it's not the MPs that are voting, are they?
No, but you know, you'll agree with me that members of parliament direct how the voting pattern of an area is. That one you can take to the
Yeah,
bank.
to some extent, but that was before
Not to some extent.
That was before 2027. You know now things have changed.
No, we can. Let me tell you the problem, Obinna. When you want to back up your argument,
Okay.
back up your argument with proven examples that already happened.
So we leave
Don't
in the
use
past.
don't use your illusions that in 27. We are not yet there. Until we are there, that's when you will now say a new precedent has been set. But when you want to be, if you want to be a good political analyst, analyze politics based on the research, on the previous happenings.
Let me ask you a very simple question. You know wale watu huwa wanaona mvua ikikuja, wanaweza toa mvua kwa matanga. So you know them. Some of them are in Luo, Kisii, Luya, right? They study patterns. And they're like, okay, mvua yetu ikipitanga kwa ile milima ikianza kunyesha pale tumejua imenyesha. And nowadays we'll agree, nowadays things have changed, patterns have changed. Why? Because of, it's climate change, global warming, da. The political climate is also doing the same thing. It's not the way, unajua sisi tulikuanga wa block, tuna vote 6 blocks, sisi ni wahapa.
No, I have simply said that from independence to date,
Okay.
presidential candidates who run on a particular party, the number of votes they get from a particular area are directly proportional to the number of seats that they win, specifically members of parliament. That's why, if you look at Kenya Kwanza, they did well in Bungoma. Majority of MPs in Bungoma are Kenya Kwanza. We performed so poorly in Kakamega. Majority of MPs in Kakamega are ODM. We did very well in Rift Valley. Majority of MPs in Rift Valley are Kenya Kwanza. We performed dismally in Coast Province. The majority of MPs in Coast Province are ODM. So I am right to say that the number of votes that a presidential candidate gets in an area are directly proportional to the number of seats that same president wins on his party. So if what I've said is something to go by, then I can daily say that I will speak today, Nyanza is solidly behind William Ruto. Western is solidly behind William Ruto. Coast is solidly behind William Ruto. Northeastern is solidly behind William Ruto. If whatever I have told you is something to go by.
Okay.
The only dissenting voice in Kakamega is Peter Salasya and only Peter Salasya. The others are not elected. You know, when you are elected, when Kenyans have given you a particular mandate to speak on their behalf, they can follow you. Your opinion is what shapes how the voting patterns will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll put a pin on that.
That's why I've said you look at Central, the majority of MPs from Central in some sections are appearing to be leaning towards the Omnyoro. That's why I'm saying that that's an area that we are on the drawing board crafting campaign slogans and trying to find out the efforts which we will use to ensure that many of people from Central Kenya don't follow them away from us.
Okay. Now, away from that one, let's put a pin on that one. Nimeona you are very passionate about naongea hapo tashtukia tu nimefanywa kimilitary. Tashtukia umeni Steve K kwa hii interview. So let me not add more salt on the injury, but time will tell anyway.
Yeah.
ODM party, how do you see it? Is it still a formidable party after Baba? Ama imeanza ku weekend? It's still a force to reckon with.
It has lost, of course, like any other party. When the party leader dies,
Okay.
of course, the party must go through some turbulence before they stabilize.
Okay.
Ford Kenya was strong under Omalo Kijana. When Omalo Kijana passed on, it is troubled. Up to today, it may not have recovered.
Okay.
The demise of Raila Odinga destabilized ODM in some way. Edwin Sifuna and the rest of the people is a fraction of the support base of ODM. So it's not as popular, strong as it used to be when Raila Amolo Odinga was the party leader. But Oburu Odinga is trying, give it to him. He has managed to at least to make the party remain intact. It may remain intact.
Okay.
The people who have who appear to be living from where I see it, they are not living because of an ideology. They are attempting to live because of they want recognition, attention. You know, if you read the minds of the MPs who are not supporting Oburu, when you meet them in the corridors, you see them saying, "Huyo Oburu ni mjinga sana, anakula peke yake bwana. Tutamuonesha." You know, they have an assumption that Oburu is eating and he is eating alone. So they simply want that table where ODM is negotiating with the UDA expanded to include them.
Okay.
And which is normal. I will equally do the same. You know, of course, you know, we live in a country where if you don't raise your voice, somebody can continue just stepping on you. You have to say, "Hey, my friend, you are stepping on me." You have to raise your voice for him now to remove his feet from yours.
Okay.
So what the breakaway faction is doing is just they're just trying to threaten Oburu and his team that guys, you need to expand that table and include us.
So you believe that is what Linda Ground is doing?
But of course, because number one, when you know, when Baba was alive and when the broad-based arrangement was mooted, names were floated.
Okay.
On those that were to be appointed in the cabinet. Right?
Yes.
So some names were missing. And the owners of those names felt like they're the ones who have made ODM to be where it is now. So the action of them not supporting broad-based was based on the fact that they were jittery and unhappy. I'll give you an example. When the Public Accounts Committee was being constituted after broad-based arrangement, after John Badi was made Minister of Finance, Caleb Amisi was the apparent heir of that position of chairman of a Public Accounts Committee. It was Caleb Amisi. If going by the hierarchy of the party within that arrangement was something to go by, it was Caleb Amisi. But then later on, of course, there were party discussions and they felt that Caleb Amisi was not the first among equals to be considered for the chairman of that position. So they gave it to Tindimwale, the MP for Butere. That marked the beginning of Caleb Amisi's severing links with ODM party. Edwin Sifuna's name was part of the names that were considered for appointment for the position of cabinet secretary. At the end of the day, he was not picked. His disagreement with Oburu Odinga and the broad-based arrangements were based on that fact. When Baba left through natural attrition and Oburu, there are some people who felt like they were more competent enough to be acting party leader of ODM. That includes James Orengo. But when the forces within ODM and outside coalesced and in favor of Oburu Odinga, James Orengo had to become now a rebel and form a faction that appears to be breaking away from ODM. That's why I've told you that the people who are not supporting Oburu Odinga are not doing so as a matter of an ideology, but they are doing so because of their own personal and sectarian interests, which you can't blame them.
Okay.
That's how it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Now let's go to Western Kenya politics. What's the beef with the Western Kenya politicians, man? Why can't you guys just come together and work together? There's always just this faction is fighting with this faction. Let's start breaking them down. What's your beef with Sifuna, man?
No, I have no beef with Sifuna. I'm just trying to show him that trying to show him that we are all independent-minded, and you can't come to issue threats, political threats to us. That if you are not with me, you will go home. If you are not with me, persuade us through an ideology. Yeah. He seemed to have picked beef with me from the day when I attended the funeral of the father of former governor of Bungoma.
Yeah.
And being a good student of political science, when I entered that funeral, it was very clear that they had turned the funeral into a one-term orchestra. And they had turned the whole funeral of a respected Mzee into a Sifuna orchestra. That is why, if you were there and you knew, you would think Sifuna was died. Because every person who went to bereave, to mourn their family, to speak, he will mention Sifuna like 10 times, Didmus Barasa like 6 times. You will think it's Sifuna or Didmus who have died. And the people must learn funeral etiquette, that when you go to a funeral, mention the deceased, because that is the person that made you go there. So when I realized that I was not wanted, and there were plans of some people being mobilized to flash me and my Webuye East counterpart, Martin Wanyonyi Pepela, then we agreed to leave. So when I was leaving, of course, even if you look at the video, when I was leaving, I was holding my kofia in my hand. Because apparently when I don't wear this kofia, many people will not notice me from far. So actually I was camouflaging so that I can leave quietly, not to interrupt the funeral. So it's Sifuna who was addressing the mourners. So when I was leaving, it's him who announced to the people that I Didmus leaving, so that people can follow him to go and give them 200 shillings. It is him who announced. And when the people followed me, because
you
love,
gave them 200 shillings.
I didn't give him. I gave them nothing. They just followed me with the song and dance. Because you see, the people of Bungoma has developed. They have grown me to a level where wherever I show up, I am the only agenda. Once that agenda is finished, there's no A or B. The rest is what wanaenda nyumbani kwao. That is basically how it is. And that is politics, you know. And also the fact that I am one man who believes that when your competitors' stages are meeting, it is immoral and bad manners for you to attempt to disrupt their meeting by getting boys to throw stones, beat them up. You don't. Politics is a game of numbers. It is a competition of who has numbers. So when you come and do a meeting in point A, I will go and do a meeting in point D. So that those who belongs to you, they will come to you. Those who are my supporters, they will come to my meeting. That is the modern way of political competition.
Okay.
We get the point.
Okay.
And you see, those who are not accepting that for the grace of God, I have more support than them, they will begin now to discredit the support that I enjoy on very flimsy things that, anawapea 200, but they have more money than what I have. There is a funeral where we were burying the brother of the Bumula member of parliament for Jack Wanami Wamboka. There were 2 governors in their side. Governor Natembeya and Irungu Kang'ata. Edwin Sifuna is equally a very senior man. We had another lady there whom I'm told she carries the briefcase for Uhuru Kenyatta. In terms of money, they had more money than what I could perceive to have. In fact, when I was living there in my pocket, I had 120,000 shillings in my pocket. But somehow people followed me. So they tried to insinuate that people follow me because of 200. If it is about money, who had more money than myself?
You believe Sifuna has more money than you do?
They have more money than what I do. These are people, let me tell you, my friend, people like Godfrey Ossos is the chairman of a Public Accounts Committee. Not PSC, but Central Funds Committee of the Senate. It's not that I'm the one who is saying. Governors themselves are the one who said. They convened a press conference. They did a press release. And then they said that for them to appear before the Senate, they have to bring money. Not in briefcases, not in rucksacks. 10 million, 20 million. The governors themselves said the press statement was read. I mean, you live in this country, they said. And part of the oversight committees is where Sifuna sits. Sifuna was mentioned by the governors. That is the biggest beneficiary of governors' money when they are appearing before the Senate. They said, they mentioned his name. That he has never cleared himself.
Okay.
Also, is the same. So in terms of money, they have more money than I do. I say so because that lady, Pauline Njoroge, she works with the briefcase belonging to Uhuru Kenyatta. Those people are puppets of Uhuru Kenyatta. My only departure, I have a lot of respect for Edwin Sifuna. Edwin Sifuna and I, we have the same understanding that certain people must pave way for a new generation of leadership. We both belong to the same school of thought. Our only point of departure is to begin to imagine that Rigathi Gachagua, whom I vomited from the National Assembly, to him is a good man. Even a dog doesn't pick whatever it has vomited. I vomited Wamnyoro because of tribalism, conflict of interest, abuse of office. The man who could call the agencies to coerce the agencies to award tenders to a particular person. The man whom you could walk into his office for support in having a project in your constituency being put on the budget, he will tell you, shares revenues imekwisha. That is my point of departure. And as long as he will continue to operate within the same wavelength with Wamnyoro and the team, we will remain competitors. We will be competing politically.
Okay. So that day when he said that you are going to be the one to talk last in the funeral, so he's talking about, how did you feel about that?
I mean, he agreed. No, me, I don't want to be a leader of Kenya. My only ambition for now is to be a leader of Bungoma, not even in Kakamega. So he really confirmed that I'm the kingpin of Bungoma. I am the real commander of Bungoma. Because by them conniving to say that I have to speak last, they knew that people will follow me. Once I am the only agenda, once I finish, because when you attend a funeral, you are not obliged to sit until the body is escorted to the grave. Once you've shown up, you've seen, you've paid your last respect to the deceased, you've reviewed the body, you can as well even go home. You will have done
Condoled with the family.
Condoled with the family. You will have finished. So when I leave and I'm the only agenda, people say, you also let us also go home. So that is what they were avoiding. And the people who follow me, they are not minors. They are not small children. These are men and women with their families, our parents, who have gone to school. So you can't accuse me of disrupting funerals. I don't coerce people to follow me. They follow me out of love, and they are right. because they are not obliged to sit through the funeral up to when we are taking the remains to the grave.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are in a political competition. And I've been around longer. I heard him one day saying that he has been in politics longer than me. It is not correct. I'm doing my second term, he's doing his first term.
Okay.
I've been around longer than him.
Okay. Supremacy battles. And what's your beef with Natembea? Commando.
You know, the moment you have a narrative that you are portraying the political faction that you purport to lead, that if you are not in that faction, then you are going home. I mean, who is he? He doesn't remote control the voters. He's behaving as if he has already won his second term as governor before elections are held next year. He's forgetting that all of us, we are on the journey of persuading voters to vote for us. I have a superior development record in this country. It's more superior than any other member of parliament. Many people think there's AI or something else. In Kimilili Constituency, 93% of all our primary schools, all the buildings were built by me from 2017 to date. All those that existed from 2017 backwards, dating up to pre-colonial times, I have replaced them. My primary schools looks like Strathmore University. You can't even compare them with the Kisii University. You can't. You can't compare my primary schools with the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University. You can't.
We need to see them.
And they are there, and the people appreciate what we have done. You know, the Huduma Center, which is phenomenal, right? Our Matili Technical Training Institute is elevated to Matili National Polytechnics, and I have put money to do massive things. Wait for a few months. You will see things that you've never seen in Kimilili constituency. And then somebody says that if I am not with them, I will go home. I want to show them that whatever they are saying is completely different.
So that's the beef with Natembe.
But you know, when I meet with him, Natembe is he has got that pride of police officers. You know, police officers, they are trained to deal with the criminals. So their language is not friendly to criminals. For you to threaten somebody to record a statement or be able to, whatever you have to, there is a way you do it. Either kama mtu amelala chini, you know, or nitakumaliza, you know, so that now the guy you are now say, wacha niseme. You get the point?
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't know that when he's addressing people, he is no longer addressing the criminals used to address when he was regional commissioner. So you go somewhere in a funeral seated there, and he addressing you the way he was addressing bandits, because bandits, they watch TV. So he was addressing bandits in Rift Valley somewhere when they will on TV, watch TV in the evening. Then they see Natembe addressing to them with a very harsh language. So he has not changed. He uses the same language when he's even addressing voters and his fellow leaders. That's why at times I tried to find out whether he's popular or not. So I met him in a funeral and I tried to lecture him. Not in a bad way. I tried to lecture him. And I told him that even if you are breathing, breathe. Your neighbor should not hear when you are breathing. And he lied low like an envelope because I had the support of all the people. That's when I realized this man is a complete coward. It's a typical regional commissioner where you warn criminals in a baraza, but at night you don't sleep at home because you fear that the criminals, the same bandits could be coming to look for you in your home. So you don't sleep at home. Or you sleep with the whole police station. Instead of the police going to guard the locals in their homes, you sleep with the whole police station in your compound because you are for fear of reprisals from the same bandits you was addressing, you know. And I want to tell you, Obinna, on this show is that I want you to write somewhere.
Okay.
I harbor the same ambitions similar to that of George Natembeya in Edwin Sifuna.
Oh.
The only problem is that, the only difference is that I am following a particular route, which is more sure. But them, they want to use a shortcut.
Oh, so you all want to be president?
Yes, them, they are using a shortcut.
Shortcut ni gani? Sisi ndio
Shortcut where you want to fiaka everybody, una fiaka Wetangula, una fiaka Musalia, you want to remove them by force. That's the only formula that differs from mine. And I want you to write somewhere. Okay. After the death of Wamalwa Kijana, I will be the second serious presidential candidate from the Luhya community.
Okay.
You can write somewhere. I'll come here by 2032.
2032? 2032, you're going for presidency?
I'll come here in 2032 and we'll have, I pray that God gives you long health, Amen. Long life. I pray that yourself and the people around here, they will be part of a delegation that will be alive when Jesus comes to take his people.
Amen to that.
Yeah, and I will remind you of these things.
Okay.
You know, and let me tell you, I am not the kind of a person who gets excited by crowds. When Natembeya goes to issue fertilizer and 2 kilogram packages of seedlings, many people comes to him, then he begins to lie to himself that is a presidential material, and that if he runs for president, he will win it. And even before the women, I've even been paying hospital bills for a number of women from his county, because you see Kimilili Constituency borders to Trans Nzoia, around Chesamisi. That's the Hendu ward. We border with my constituency. And every time this man comes to issue seedlings around that particular area, by the end of the exercise, the evening, most of all women are admitted in hospitals. You know, when those women come in, some are very old with battling some lifestyle diseases. They are taken through some exercises that are similar to paramilitary, practicing on how to say tawe. A minister, a CEC will first come, take about 2 hours practicing with these women how to respond to tawe. By the time when Natembeya himself comes, and he takes them now through the same tawe parade. By the time they are given the seedlings, some women have backaches, some are hospitalized, unable to pay their fees. I pay them. I've always pleaded with George Natembeya that when you are issuing these free seedlings, these women, don't pass these women to paramilitary. Even for you to, before you go to paramilitary, you go through some medical tests to confirm that you are fit to go through paramilitary. But he doesn't appreciate the fact that these women, if I want them to participate in the paramilitary activities of tawe gestures, at least they should have a doctor confirming that they are in a good health.
Kufanya tu hivi.
No, they are tedious. You practice like 2 hours. Very difficult.
Hapo umetupanga.
No. Let me tell you. Wewe Obinna. Ukikaa tu miezi 5 bila tu kufanya gym, kufanya exercise. Do you hata ukikimbia tu uende tu cheze tu hiyo mpira tu kidogo tu hivi dakika 10, unajua utaumwa na misuli mpaka utameza pana tu.
I know, lakini kusema tawe kufanya hivi mtu anaenda kulazwa.
Mama anaumwa na bafu bwana.
Juu ya kufanya tawe.
You know, he's vigorous. Not just like this way you do like this. No, when you do like this, atakwambia hapo mbele, hapo funga, hapo wewe inua, hapo funga. Do hivi unafunga hivi. By the time you finish like this tawe, unaumwa na bafu, mgongo unauma. Some women are hospitalized.
And they bring the bills to
In
you.
fact, I'm sure even now the women are breathing a sign of relief because that exercise will resume next year, March. At least now the women are saying, hey, Papa Nalua, Papa Nalua. You know, those are women who...
You don't think that our mothers really need that exercise? Because you kama tu ile kufanya.
No, but that one is conditional. You have to do it. And you have to do it like your life depends on it.
But even you tell people to do the exercise for 2 terms. So pia unaambia fanya hivi nitumie mkubwa hivi.
No, I don't tell them hapo. I just say wacha nione 2 terms, then we'll just see them doing like this. Yeah?
So when you train for 2 hours, unajua mtu akibeba hivi unajua anaenda kama huku inamuuma.
You know the governor. You know the governor of Trans Nzoia is also the president of Trans Nzoia.
Okay.
He has protocols.
Okay.
Before he finally arrives, the chief officer arrives. He takes the congregation through Tawe parades. The CEC in charge of agriculture arrives. He takes them through the final preparations for the Tawe parade. So when the boss himself arrives, His Excellency arrives now. And you know now, because he is doing it for the TVs and for the video, they have to repeat like for 6-7 minutes. And because he has a number of things that he talks about. Umasikini, Wetangula, Mutavati, William Ruto, Kasongo, UDA.
Sema alafu tutasema Tawe. Sema alafu tuseme Tawe.
I don't want you to be hospitalized because I've come here. You know, unless if you can give me a medical permit confirming that
I'm okay.
Your health status are good for you to.
But ufisadi Tawe.
No, but
ukabila Tawe. Sio tumekubaliana ama unataka ufisadi?
But you, I mean, of course.
Na ukabila.
Of course, I agree, but you don't have to parade. You don't have to. The occasion is to issue free seedlings to deserving people of Trans Nzoia.
Okay.
And I'm told, as they are saying, Tawe, his scouts, his enforcement officers are just walking, looking around, checking those who don't like do it very well, very nicely. I'm told they end up not getting anything. That's what I'm told. They're not getting anything.
So if you do it well, what are you giving?
So what he has been doing is beef with me. He sees me as his competitor, as a stumbling block to his political progress. I am the only one from Bungoma who can lecture him anywhere, anytime, and the people will like it. Because I say things the way they are. I am not a coward. When you are a president of a county, you have resources to improve the life of the people. Right? So when you speak about another person not developing the country, you should also begin by amplifying the successes that you have brought in the community.
You don't believe Trans Nzoia imeendelea?
Okay, anyway, Natembeya has done pretty well because he's the only governor, not only in Kenya. I like giving credit to where it's due. Okay. Give it to him. I mean, he has tried. He's the only governor, not just in Kenya, but even in Africa, who felt very necessary to put money in the budget to buy coffins for his people. He's the only one in both in Africa, even in the whole world. There is no one. Give it to him. Just sitting down and saying that these my people, their life expectancy is very low because of very many other factors. So I don't want them to suffer in life, and both in life and in death.
Now,
so
moving on swiftly.
He convinced his assembly to set aside money to buy coffins. So when you die, they just go to the store, they look at this, which your size, your length. Wanachukua yako hapo wanakuweka, give it to him. Give it to him. In fact, wacha nimtolee kofia, give it to him. He has tried.
We know that when our people die, we normally have a problem with buying coffins and paying the morgue charges and everything. It is a noble cause.
That's why I've agreed. I've said, give it to him. I mean, he sat down, it was a well thought idea. He had other options of either stocking medicine and ensuring his people get proper medication. But he felt that it is true that doctors treat, God heals. So he felt like the rate of healing is a bit low because human being you treat, but God heals. So he just maybe got reports from his people that the rate of healing is very low. So you prepare.
You know, Trans Nzoia is a food basket of the country.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not just him. You know, I think his thinking can be equated to that of Martin Shikuku. You know, Martin Shikuku dug his own grave, bought his own coffin. I think 10 years before he died. He may have reasons why he never wanted, maybe wanted a coffin of particular whatever. And he has even gone a notch higher to, I'm told that in the budget lines, there are clear provisions, the white coffins and the one that are mahogany kind of, I'm told that women prefer white, it's the color of whatever. So give it to him. By the way, pass my congratulations specifically on that aspect when you meet with him.
I'll sit down with him. He's a friend of mine, and I'll share with him this video as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll also hear what he has to say about the things you've done in Kimilili.
Yeah.
Because you say that in Kimilili umepanga kazi vizuri sana. And there are guys who are asking that Kimilili Bokoli Road is not very well. It's not well done. You know that road is in Kimilili?
Yes, Kimilili Bokol Road is not done.
Yeah.
It was part of the roads that were actually stalled. And I am the vice chair of the roads committee. So what I say them authoritatively. They are factual. You can quote me on that.
Okay.
The reason why many roads that were begun by Uhuru Kenyatta's government stalled. Many of those roads stalled. The contractors were incapacitated. The road between Navaholo passing Bungoma National Polytechnic to Sangalo.
Mm-hmm.
It had been advertised, I think, 2 times to get a contractor to complete because the former contractor threw in the towel. She could not complete the road. So when we advertise the road under the same amount of money that were remaining to complete, no bidder is willing to come and do it. Those contractors, I think, when they were given those contracts, somebody may have paid them some money and they collected their 20%. And the 20% was more. So they will not break even.
Oh, wow.
So for those roads to get back, we need to increase the budget. You know, the law says when the contract was awarded at the cost of 2 billion, and the contractor worked on and was paid 400 million, even if the contract is terminated, the one coming to take over must operate within the same contractual terms and amount. You don't come and say because there's a new one coming in, you increase. It will be committing an economic crime.
Okay.
So the road needs to be completed within the remainder of the money within the contract budget.
Okay.
But it is very clear that the people who are there may have collected kickbacks that is even more than what could make the contractor complete this road.
So do we have
what we are doing on that road is that we put enough money. We are first making the road motorable. That's why when you go up to Kibingei, you will see that the machines are there. They are approaching Kimilili town. And I am hopeful that once that one is done, the contractor will complete the remaining small section between Kimilili and Bokoli.
Okay.
Yeah. And tell him I'm very apologetic about that on behalf of our government. Yeah. And I've explained that when that contract was given, those characters in the previous regime may have collected kickbacks exorbitantly to the level where they grounded the contractor. That's why majority of these roads have stalled.
Okay.
But they are now beginning, we have blown life back into them. They are now advancing towards completion.
Okay. Now, let's segue a little bit, talk Rigi G and DCP before now we come to the governor bid, because nasikia kwa ground huko we peke yako uko one man solo, wengine wote wako nyuma timu Wanyonyi, but we're coming to that. Rigi G and DCP, what do you think about it? Wanasikiza ground?
I think I want to be very honest and fair.
Okay.
We have a problem in our country that we need to sort out. A person who is impeached or convicted on abuse of office charges cannot hold any public office. As we speak today, the law doesn't allow Rigathi Gachagua even to be chairman of a funeral committee. It doesn't. It doesn't. And all the things that this man talks about our government, he is completely conflicted. If Kenya was in Europe, then the guy could say, I am conflicted to talk about Kenya Kwanza government because I was part of it. Some of the things he says about are the things which he was the originator of the idea. There are things which he implemented himself. His only beef with us is that we impeached him. So he's just hiding in about, we are presiding over bad government, or we are doing, we are collapsing our healthcare systems. Those are just scapegoats. He's simply bitter. He is simply communicating that these buffoons, these characters, removed the meat from my mouth. When his political career as deputy president was beginning to blossom, it was terminated temporarily.
Temporarily or permanently?
Yeah, he was unprepared.
Oh, okay.
He was not he was never expecting prematurely.
Okay.
To the level where when he thought he would put up a strong case in Senate, and when he was advised by his legal team that we are not looking good, the guy started to just fell ill. He just went to be admitted. So he will manage somehow to convince a good number of people from central Kenya to follow him, but not all of them.
Okay.
We must begin to, but you see, even some of the things that are happening in Mount Kenya, actually, I am to blame. I am to blame. And today I want to apologize to the country. I have never said this anywhere, at least I want to say it here on Obinna Show. And I want to confirm that some of the statements coming from Mount Kenya,
okay,
I am the cause.
How?
Myself and Dini Nyoro, we were very good friends up to today. In fact, we are tight friends. We were the one that has pinned the campaign for William Ruto, especially for young people across this country. And when we came in and we had an opportunity to form government, I had a conversation with Dini Nyoro that because now you and I, we have been mentored by William Ruto to be where we are today, we should give back to the community by also mentoring our other young members of parliament. Then Dini Nyoro wanted to pick Reuben Kiborek. But I told him, no, let me mentor Reuben Kiborek into, by taking through what we do as CDF, the models, how to conduct yourself as a legislature, how to be disciplined and make most appearances on the plenary, both in the plenary, how to ask questions on behalf of the people who brought you here. So because I thought that Ndini Nyoro had a strong understanding of the economy of our country, being chair of a budget and appropriation committee, it is me who suggested that he picks over the role of mentoring to the Honorable Peter Salasha, the MP for Mumias East. But it never lasted for 8 months. The character and persona of Peter Salasha was too strong to that of Ndini Nyoro until the tables turned. Now it was Peter Salasha was mentoring Ndini Nyoro. So when you see Ndini Nyoro speaking the way he's speaking, conducting himself the way he's doing, is actually a product of Peter Salasya's school of mentorship. I didn't know I would have gotten somebody of a lower personality. But even if I agree, looks are deceiving. Peter Salasya, when he came to Parliament, he appeared to have a low profile. But I didn't know that actually, from my local language, they say, who he came Buarusa. Yani you are giving them mrija hii ya busa. Kwa umbo na hiyo mrija ni kubwa kuliko ile umbo yenyewe. So I want to take offense.
Wow.
Not taking offense, but I want to take full responsibility in the manner in which Honorable Ndini Nyoro is talking, is conducting himself, because the majority of the things he talked against, he was the author, he was the originator when he was chair of a budget and appropriation. But nonetheless, makosa yangu, mimi wa Kenya nimeomba msamaha.
Opposition, unification. We've seen them aligning with a couple of people. How do you see it working out? I'm just going to mention so tuziguza rakaraka tukisonga. We've seen the ideas that it's going to be Sifuna and Kalonzo Musyoka, front runners. What do you think of that pact?
First, let me tell you, and like we agreed when we were beginning this show that you can't make an assumption on what will happen in future,
okay,
without supporting it from what happened previously before.
Okay.
If you look at the history of politics of our country since independence to the last general elections, Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula closed ranks with William Ruto to work together 2 months to elections. Right? I want to put it to you to submit as follows. Currently, our president is alive to the fact that we are at the tail end of completing implementation of our campaign pledges to Kenyans.
Okay.
By next year, January, political transfer window will be open. I want to confirm it to you that the people you are mentioning, half of them, will be persuaded to come and work with William Ruto. What they are doing is that when they hit William Ruto hard, when they go bare knuckle against our president, they are building a profile for them to be considered, yani kuitwa. Because as we speak today, the responsibility of William Ruto is to race against time and complete his campaign pledge that he made in 2022. From January, to him, it will now be about whom do I need to win the next election. It will no longer be about whom he loves. It will be about whom he needs. So if it will come to our attention that we need Kalonzo Musyoka, we need Fred Matiang'i, and some of those people in their arrangements, they're only looking for a ministerial appointment. After next general election, all the ministers that we are having here, they will go home, their positions will fall vacant. William Ruto will form a new government. By January, I want to tell you that the people you are mentioning, the opposition, whether United or Olinda Uhuru Kenyatta group, we will fragment them. We are, even as we watch TV when they speak, we take a pen and paper. We are putting their names down and their strength. When Kalonzo Musyoka is speaking, we are taking notes. So by next year, January, we will convene a meeting. We will have a discussion. We will be supporting the ideas of whom we approach. And of course, it's all about interests. Our interests will converge. They will come to work with us. So I want to warn Kenyans who are making any investments in the opposition. It is not the time to make any investment, because some of the people that you think are in the opposition now, by next year, March, they will be working with William Ruto. So I want them to let them remain with their emotional investments until next year, March. Whoever will survive maybe by March, now they can invest in them. But now they should not. Who knew that Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi will join Kenya Kwanza? Who knew Kingi will join Kenya Kwanza? Alfred Mutua, the guy who had taken William Ruto to Kilimani police station for just a firm handshake. Just for a firm handshake. He says, he said his life was in danger. Who knew? So, Kenyans, don't invest in the opposition. Don't take what the opposition says so serious. When you see them claiming things that are imaginary, they are not here nor there, they are simply increasing their profile to be called
to the table.
To the table.
Okay.
For signing of interest, not their signing of interest, not their interest. Some of these people will come to government and they will pick positions. They will say, like Matiang'i will say, me, I've been a very good minister for education, very good minister for interior. If you give me any one of those and we agree, I begin to sing 2 terms. They are singing 1 term loudest, not because they mean it, but because they are using it as a part of establishing a file.
Negotiation.
Absolutely.
Fact. You know, I've always told people that most politicians care about their self-interest. It's never
Absolutely.
about the people.
Yes.
Majority of you politicians, it's about you. Someone say, unajua, anatupiga. I'm just like, I sit down with these politicians off camera and I hear the conversations. Trust me, if you just believe them blindly, huyu atasema uni adui, next utaona huyu na huyu ni marafiki. Uko like, si ulisema uni ubara, kwambia hapana, unajua tulishatengeneza mambo 1, 2, 3. But well, to each his own. Why do you believe you're the best governor for Bungoma and not Tim Wanyonyi?
I'm the best governor of Bungoma. Tim Wanyonyi is a tourist in Bungoma. The definition of a tourist is that an individual doesn't understand the geographical terrain of an area. I will be turning 38 at the time when we will be getting to elections. The man you've mentioned will be turning 64. He left Bungoma younger than I am today. He has never voted in Bungoma. He will be voting in Bungoma for the first time. He left Bungoma to the city in search of education. He went to India for his degree. And when he came back to Nairobi, he only go to Bungoma to attend a funeral and family activities. Number 2, he has no track record. I have. Westlands constituency has around 9 or 10 schools that were already built. Westlands falls within the Nairobi City County. Kimilili Constituency is a rural constituency with 73 primary schools and 46 senior schools. The record that I have set in the last 8 years speaks for itself. He has been a member of parliament in Westlands for 15 years. He was, before he was a councillor for 5 years. Do you require 15 years to build 12 schools? If you give me 15 years in Kimilili, Kimilili would be like London. If for only 10 years, I have eliminated all old buildings in all the primary schools, then by the time we are getting to the third year, looking for the third term and looking for the fourth term, Kimilili will now be having even swimming pools everywhere, school buses everywhere. We will have money with the limited work to do, where we can even begin to buy uniforms for students. So my track record is superior. That's number 2. Number 3, I have a proper grasp of the issues that affect the people of Bungoma more than him, because him is just a mgeni. I have been there. He rode on the name of his family for very many years. When he is introducing himself for you to know him, he must invoke their family name. I'm a brother of so and so. I am a son of so and so. Today, if my father would be alive, for him to be known, he must tag along my name. That is the difference between him and me. He will say, Mimi ndio baba ya Didmus Barasa. Because I build my own name, him, his family build his name for. Number 3, even in terms of stating what we will do for the people of Bungoma, me, I'm very clear. I'm saying I want to develop Bungoma from inside. I want to develop Bungoma to be attractive when you look at it from inside Bungoma, from where you live, the village where you live. The previous governors have built Bungoma to be attractive when you are viewing Bungoma from outside. When you travel from Homa Bay, you get to Mumias. When you enter Bungoma, there is Adwol. You see Adwol Road there with this very nice street lighting. You get into town. You see the assembly block, apartment for the assembly offices and the new chamber. There is an hospital there with a very tall building. You see a smart city in the Kiwanja Ndege coming up. You get to Kandui. You see a very nice stadium, Masinde Muliro Stadium, in a span of about 12 kilometers only. You come back to Nairobi saying, Bungoma imejengwa bwana. But a woman from Kopsiro, from Netima, from Kamasielo, from Chesamis, from Froy, if he looks at Bungoma, he sees a dilapidated hospital that doesn't inspire healing confidence, a dilapidated vocational training center that when a young man goes there and takes a selfie with the buildings in the picture, if he sends them to his girlfriend, the girlfriend blocks him because it doesn't appear to inspire a good future. You get the point? So me, I'm saying, before spending money on a legacy project, I must sort out the problems that the national government neglected for very many years. I want to ensure that the dispensaries are well built. For your information, we only have 130. Even if you put 30 million in every dispensary, that's less than 600 million. You will have sorted out the problems of the healthcare. Things to do with reducing the turnaround time from the time when you arrive in the hospital and when treatment commences. I'm simply saying that the time taken when a patient arrives to when that patient begins to be treated, the data that we will be collecting are the ones that we will use to determine which MOH, which medical soup moves from this hospital to the other one and which will be promoted. So that they know that when a patient arrives in a hospital, they should be treated within a period of less than 10 minutes. If you require an X-ray picture and there's no X-ray machine, if you require a CT scan, an ultrasound report, before you begin treatment, those equipment are not there. It's not the business of the patient to be looking for them. Put them in the ambulance, take them to a place where you know you will get a picture, you will have an arrangement, take them to an X-ray, whether in a different government hospital or a private one, we must have an arrangement kind of, so that the business of looking for medicine, looking for an X-ray picture should not be for the patient, but for the hospital. I am not saying that I will eliminate lack of medicines completely in our hospitals, because we may have drug shortage because of administrative and technical challenges. But I'm simply saying, if a patient is admitted and there is no medicine, it is the business of the doctor to look for that medicine, whether from the chemist, from a different hospital, so that the CEC in charge of health now will have a responsibility of engaging his team to think around on how they'll solve that problem. You know? And I'm simply saying that we will also introduce many private wings in our government hospitals, because we've been losing a lot of revenue to private hospitals because many people with comprehensive medical insurance prefer going to private healthcare facilities because of privacy. You are a head of a department. You are a principal of a school. You don't want to be seen that because you are in a ward, you are sick. People begin to peddle rumors that you are anatuacha. Anatusumbua hapa na huyo ni mgonjwa amekuwa hospitali jana. So they prefer going to a private facility where admission is private. The ward is private. If no one is allowed to see you, will not come to see you. But when you go to government hospital like Bungoma County Referral Hospital, anybody can just walk around just to check. You see even people taking pictures of patients and spreading rumors that so and so is dying and at watch. So doing those things is very, very easy. You get the point. I have simply said that when I'm governor of Bungoma, we have a number of constituencies like Tongaren, Bumula, Mount Elgon, where the roads are in deplorable conditions. And I'm simply saying that grading and graveling of roads will be the work of the government of Bungoma from Monday to Friday, from January to December. What we will do, we will buy equipment for every sub-county, for every constituency, so that every constituency will have their own grading and graveling equipment. So as county government, we only purchase marram and fuel. A grader is around 10,000. A roller is around 10,000, 10 million. You will require around 40 million per sub-county to have at least a set of those equipments. We can debate about tamaking our roads, but we can't debate about a particular area being cut off from the larger Bungoma because of people who have cars cannot go home. Even it contributes to infidelity because men take advantage of the rain, telling their wife, now I can't come, the road is impassable, now I'm sleeping in town. And they're just engaging in infidelity in town. Because GBV is also very high in Bungoma. Fighting gender-based violence begins by ensuring you have good roads. There is no reason why a husband will say, I'm not coming because the road is impassable. And you know, baby, you know the road hapo barabara imekwama kwa barabara. They will be not there, you know. You know, GBV comes when people are traveling from Kimilili to Kakamega in search of government services. They will say, tumekuja Kakamega, magari imefika jioni, magari yakuja Kamkuyu hakuna. So have you sleep in Kakamega? Now you have a Huduma center where they are just near. So there's no way you will say that sasa huku magari hakuna, because you just use a boda wood that operates even at night. You know, I'm simply saying that in Bungoma we are blessed. We are not like we are more blessed than the people of Kisii. the people of Kabani, the people of the rest of the country. In Bungoma, you will get the lowest person with at least 2 acres piece of land. You know, we are the food basket of our country. But it comes a time when the people struggle to afford a meal in a day because of the bamba harvest that they usually have. They will have in the next very few months. They will turn those harvests into like an ATM. They want bread, soda. Mzee wants to drink some busa. You will take 2 gorogoros of maize, you sells, and that time a gorogoro retails at around even 30 shillings. But now when hunger comes to bite in the month of January, February, March, up to May, the same gorogoro of maize is being sold at a cost of 150 or 200 shillings. They can't afford. They sleep hungry. What I will do as a governor of Bungoma is to set aside enough funds. Those who are willing to sell their maize to meet their immediate financial requirements, I will buy their maize at market price. If it's 30 shillings per gorogoro, I'll buy. Stock them. During hunger, I will take back the maize at the same price that I bought. I heard the former governor Wangamati criticizing my model by saying that in Bungoma we usually have a harvest of about 600,000 bags of maize. So you require 3 billion to buy all the maize. I never said I would buy all the maize. And the people don't sell all their maize. They only sell part of it to meet their financial requirements. That part of the maize they want to sell is the one which I would buy. I also not buy maize from him. I would buy maize from certain class of people. I can't buy from rich people to stock for them, then give them during hunger times.
What happens to the charges? Because once you buy maize and you stock it, you have to, the storage, it's also expensive.
As a governor,
Yeah.
presiding over a government fund,
Yeah.
we are entitled to budget money for warehousing. We meet that cost.
Okay.
We meet that cost, and it's a one-off. It will be like a revolving fund.
Okay.
You know, we may end up maybe spending like maybe even 100 million. And even if we are put 100 million, and at some point we run out of it, whatever we have purchased is enough to circumvent them from sleeping hungry when time comes. So there is nothing like 3 billion shillings.
Why is it that all the other MPs around that area are behind team and not you?
No. As we speak today, and you can go and check Martin Wanyonyi Pepela, the MP for Webuye East, John Murumba Chikati, the Bumula MP Jack Wamboka. They're with me.
Just 3. How many MPs are from there?
We have 9 MPs.
Oh, so 6 are still on the other side.
Not on the other side. The only people who are the only visible people who are with my competitor are about those who are with the man from Nairobi. I think there are 3. The MP for Sirisia, Mount Elgon, and the Webuye West. There are 3. I think the MP for Kapchai is with former Governor Wycliffe Wangamati. The rest of the others, they are waiting for the signal of their party for political formations. And when political formations begin to form, maybe next year, those who will run in UDA, they will certainly rally behind me. And I've also said I want to not waste the energy of them, of my friends. I want to do the preliminary by myself. Then by the time when they are coming in, they bring in Nguvumpia, the last kick that will make my competitors see stars.
Okay. Goon violence in political rallies, campaigns. What's your take on that? Because I see that we are breeding a very bad animal that will later eat us up. And they're normally supported by police and the powerful people with financial muscles.
Let me tell you, my friend. Let nobody cheat you.
Okay.
There is no politician in Kenya who doesn't have goons. Every politician in Kenya has a goon. Every celebrity, including yourself, you have a goon somewhere, 1 or 2 or 3. Yes, wako. There's nobody. And I think what we are, and goons are not bad people. Their role is for crowd control, and personal protection. Nobody can survive without such kind of people controlling crowd and protecting you personally. Those people who go with the mipini, mapanga, maiming people, those are just criminals who should be dealt with as such. I had a discussion with Godfrey Ososi at some point on phone when he was attacked by some people in Kisumu. And then I told him, now, Senator, first I wish you quick recovery. But I reminded him in some time when his party leader for ANC, Musalia Mudavadi, during that time when Eugene Wamalwa was a minister in government in Jubilee, the same Godfrey Ososi had enlisted same goons to Eugene Wamalwa. They matched the minister of government from the Maragoli Cultural Festival in Bale. Eugene lost one shoe. He went home with one shoe. So what I'm simply saying that we politicians, we create these criminal gangs to terrorize our opponents. When you are on the receiving end, you cry foul. When you are the beneficiary, you smile. When I was attacked in Kibra, lost my cap and almost lost my new engine. Because those people, the way I saw them, they were just taking their hands to where my engine is.
Which engine?
My engine, my genitals. I saw them taking their hands like... We get the point.
Okay.
Uhuru Kenyatta was president. Did you remember what he said? He laughed and said, hao ni matajiri. Those ones will go for treatment in Nairobi hospital. Hao ni matajiri, msijali na hao, hiyo ni sawa. A few years later, Rigathi Gachagua sent the same goons to Uhuru Kenyatta's Northern farm, wakachukua makondoo zake, mamerino sheep wakachukua, wakavandalize vitu, wakachukua vitu hapo. Don't celebrate when such tragedy befalls your fellow Kenyan. It will befall you at any other time. So, as politicians, we usually get some supporters to assist us in crowd control and the security that the police cannot manage, cannot do. Those are very good people. We require bouncers. But bouncers who become criminals by attacking other people, they should be treated as criminals
and prosecuted.
Not bouncers. Even me nilikuwa bouncer ya Omara kijana. We were doing crowd control in Thika Stadium when we went for elections between Fort Kenya within Omara kijana and Raila Odinga. Myself, Jack Wamboka, Kisilo Temba, we kept out, tumekuwa mabouncer ya Skare Kombo. Watu wakitembea ndio tunatembea mbele, tunafanya mzee apite. But criminals, they should be separated from those young people who do very good bouncer job by controlling our crowds. Even national government, there are some roles which cannot entirely be done by police officers. You see them calling in the NYS. If you go to the airport, at times you will see even the NYS assisting the police in ensuring that they search the cars that are entering the airport. during elections. They get out even prisons officers and the NYS to assist in manning polling stations and polling centers. Even so, as leaders or the so-called VIPs, VIPs expands to include even celebrities. You go for shows. If you don't go for shows, you require some bouncer to restrain your fans and supporters from coming to forcefully hug you and disrupt your function. Police cannot do that. So those Kenyans who do that good work, we cannot allow their reputation to be spoiled by criminal gangs who are hired, who are hired to come and cause mayhem. Even you were mentioning about that Brian, whom I regret that he lost his life. But why would an Odinga be doing in a very remote polling station in Kimilili, in a place called Chepkwabi, in the evening?
See, it's Kenya. You can move anywhere you want to move.
What was he doing at that time?
See, there were elections. So
there were skirmishes. There were skirmishes and fights. And in that area, there were about 5 guns that were all recovered by police. Yeah. So I'm simply saying that people who risk the life of young Kenyans by bringing them to cause chaos and mayhem, it's not right. It's not right. We are allowed to have friendly bouncers whose role is very important. Ensuring you have order. Just some order. You can imagine if you go to, you take this Obinna Show live in some entertainment place in Bungoma or anywhere across this country, without some kind of arrangements where bouncers demarcate an area, you cannot do the show. Everybody will be on your stage. And get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that matter is not negotiable. And I think even the reason as to why we have situations where even police officers recruit those goons is because of the punitive laws that we have put that checks on the excesses of the police officers. The IPOA Act describes shallowly on when do we say police has used excessive force. There is no rationale of, for example, we are just shown a police officer shooting someone, but you are not shown the build-up activities to the shooting. So you've made the police officers, even if they have a gun, they know that that gun can take them to jail, can sack them. So what a police officer does, that if they have been given to man demonstrators in a particular area, he rather go and recruit some boys who can beat up people, because when they just beat up people there, they run away. The police seated there because he can't use his gun. You've seen many times, Obinna, many times, this not like during our times, when we were young people. When you see a police vehicle, you run away. When you see a police officer, you run away. But nowadays, you see a police officer,
they run away.
Police officers are the ones running away. You see a police officer somewhere I saw with a very beautiful young girl, bending, and it's like, I don't know how you call it. Sijui ndio kifo ya mende ama ndio gun hiyo.
I don't call it like that.
Anainamia huyo polisi hivi, when the police is just
Achora saba.
Kabisa, polisi amechora saba, polisi ameshika tu bunduki hapa. Police is helpless, cannot do anything. Because he knows now people are recording with the phone. If the police acts in a manner that wherever, he will lose his job, he will be prosecuted. So we have actually created employment for these criminals, goons, who beat people and terrorize people.
What would you recommend we do to someone who killed someone?
You know how and what circumstances. Because there is. I don't think.
I'm talking murder, not manslaughter.
Yeah, but I'm just. I think there is nobody who can just be reckless, just to wake up, pick your gun and shoot someone.
No, intentionally. I'm speaking about even let's say goons. So watu wametuma apige mtu lose life yao. Sasa kuna mwenye amewatuma, then kuna wenye wamefanya the act. The police as well. Police are sent because police nowadays are weaponized in this country. They're used to do different things. To go and rough up someone, they beat you up as well, throw you in the cell, you die in there. What happens?
No, but you see, you see.
You know the story of Albert
even
Ojwang?
you, Obinna. You have enemies out there.
Yes, I do.
Both your enemies who became one because of business competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today we are here at night. We are very okay because we know even if they are looking for you, they can't come here because of the security arrangements of our country. We should not compromise the security arrangements of our country. We shouldn't make our police officers powerless to the level where people begin a demonstration in the morning, they descend on your shop because they know your political affiliations, either by your name. During 2007, 2008 political violence in Kisumu, anybody by the name Kamau or Njoroge, regardless of whether they supported Kibaki or Raila Odinga, they were maimed. And anybody with Otieno or Onyango, somewhere in Nyeri, in Kikuyu or Nakuru, we cannot afford to build that culture that you've spent many years putting together meager savings per month to raise 500,000 shillings across the period of 30 working years to go and begin a business in your local town. Then during maandamano against whether a legitimate cause or whatever it is, somebody comes, breaks in, loots everything. We can't build a culture like that. The powers of the police in maintaining law and order should be maintained at a particular time.
You see the ones who block Thika Road? Goons. Just next to the police station.
And there's nothing the police could have done.
Why not?
Because if the police goes to arrest them, then they turn violent, they beat police. Police were the ones. Nowadays, we have just agreed here that nowadays is not during our times when we were young. When we were young, when we see the police, we were running away.
So basically, we are saying our police is useless.
It has become useless. Just become useless. Because if the police, why do you think when a police goes to maintain law and order, is given a gun with the bullets? What is the reason?
Show of power.
Show of power is one of it. But even the second one, that if there is somebody who threatens the life of another individual or property,
shoot them in the leg, huh?
Or whichever. But if they do it, how many police officers are being prosecuted for use of their firearms?
So we didn't have just police who would clear those goons from that road the other day and they're next to the police station. So
they can, because
we are a banana republic.
Absolutely.
Now we're ruled by goons.
Yes. That's why even my police bodyguards, there's some role they cannot do. You require those
goons.
Yes.
Bwana Governor, closing remarks on this camera. Talk to your people now. Let's go back to Bungoma.
I want to first appreciate the people of Bungoma. You have built me. You've made me whom I am today. You have ashamed my political enemies on my behalf. You have remained steadfast in working with me in my journey to be your governor. Like I've been doing, you will not just be voting for me as your governor next year, but you will be voting for the program that I have to develop our county from the villages, not only from the major cities, to ensure that we have food security, that none of the people of Bungoma will sleep hungry because they sold their maize to meet their immediate financial requirements. I will revamp the hospitals and dispensaries and health centers to be more beautiful, more better than the primary schools that are built in Kimilili Constituency. We will improve and make our vocational training centers fit the definition of a college or a post-secondary institution. We will ensure that every region and every sub-county has their own equipments for grading and graveling of our roads, so that none of our people will find it difficulty to access their homes from their daily hassles. I am not old, I am young. My competitors have been claiming that I have a tainted integrity. But if you compare my integrity and theirs, some of them are actively being prosecuted in court for various economic crimes they committed when they were holding positions of governor of Bungoma during their times. The others who claim to be clean, the internet never lies. When you go there, you will find hashtags like Bring Stack Hope, where millions of shillings were collected, purportedly to build a spinal hospital injury in Kajiado, but the same amount of money were embezzled by the same characters. Be a good judge, continue supporting me, continue being with me, and Bungoma shall never be the same again. We will make Bungoma a proud county for you to live in. Bye-bye, have a good night. See you from Friday. See you on Saturday. I'll be in Webuye East in a bodaboda empowerment program at Muji Primary School. Watu wa Bungoma, nawapenda bure. Have a good night and God bless you.
We, naka kwa buloya kiss. Watu wa Bungoma ni wa romantic. There's an event that is happening that I need to be part of. It's known as ACE. All right. So the details are on the screen. I do really hope to see you there. I'm going to be hosting the gala dinner. It's happening at Garden City, and you need to be there. If you know you run a business or you're looking into business, this is a place that you need to be into. It is part of the Gojel Group initiative to bring business and the consumers, businesses and the consumers in one spot. So I'm going to see you guys there. In the meantime, if it's the first time here, there's a QR code app here. Tafadhali scan it and get to bless us maze. We've been hustling here, na labda mpenda kipindi tunulie kasoda, tuambie Obinna ni aje, unaweza kunywa kasoda hapo, tunashukuru sana. And for the rest of you, comment, like and subscribe. We're gonna see you guys on Friday. Pop the Balloon Show, brand new episodes, of course, hosted by Yvonne Nyanduko and Miles. Good night. God bless you. We out.
Oh my God! Kevo, uko sure si type yako?
I can forgive cheating. I can forgive having kids outside. I can forgive all that. If there's one thing I cannot entertain.
So, kama love, yani, nasema kama love ingekuwa sin, basi singekuwa mclean. Na siwezi taka kusin, ndio maana kuita my queen. Mimi sitakudanganya, wallahi mimi siwezi kudanganya mimi. Nitakwambia na kufeel. Usiseme zi cause nitafeel busy.
Aya, wapi nduru na shangwe?
Wow, are your walls looking plain and uninspired? Transform your space with premium wall panels, elegant marble PVC with stunning backlighting, and modern floating TV stands. All designed to give your home a luxurious, timeless finish. At Mr. Frames Kenya, we offer top quality designs at unbeatable prices. Whether you're going to a classic or modern look, we've got the perfect solution for your home or office. Call or WhatsApp us today on 0705 759 102 or connect with us on social media. Mr. Frames Kenya. Mr. Frames Kenya, where style meets affordability.
Obinna, you need to be here.
I am.
Shauri yake tusikize.
Check it, guys.
Ndio water.